Welcome back to the papameat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Coming on sun down because today we're talking about horrible working conditions. Oh God! You know, we all know about the tyrannical nature of these gazillion-dollar companies that treat their workers poorly. Maybe you as a viewer even work for one of these tyrants. Amazon. You heard about the bad stuff they're doing? Piss jugs and such? How about Apple? And Nestle. Nestle, they make the Nesquik.
Children's bones.
Here's a conspiracy theory. Is Nestle chocolate powder ground up children bones? Can we be sued for this? Is that slander or something? No, guys, I'm serious. This is real. You know, it's common for big businesses to do whatever they want so they can squeeze as much work out of people as they can for as little pay. You know, and listen, I am a businessman through and through. I have this YouTube channel. I have various other things happening out throughout, you know, my career, jobs, whatever. And I hope that my employees are just happy that they are here, that hopefully they feel like they're treated fairly, because I love and respect all my beautiful angels. And yes, they did even send me, there's a suggestion box or something, which feels so played out, but at the studio, I had people make videos and talk about just some of the things that they like, or maybe some of the things that they want to be fixed here, like, Harry and Nick want a massage chair. I'll get to it, guys, but until then, here's one of them now. I hope they're good. I haven't seen them yet, so. Did people send in the videos yet?
Well, they're still sleeping. It is 3 a.m.
I emailed them. Listen, the first couple that we got so far, it's bullshit. Like, I mean, censor that, okay? No, I'm serious.
I will. I'm gonna talk to them too.
Yeah, you need to. That's your job. J-O-B, do you know how to spell?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Hunter wants to know what you guys think about work. Oh, see, yeah, they like it down there. They love working for papameat. Alright, see you guys.
There comes a point where things delve into a realm of straight-up cruelty, when morals are thrown out the window in favor of maximizing output and profits at any cost. We are tiptoeing very close to this YouTube channel. We gotta watch out. Mostly you, Nick.
What?
This can result in nightmarish business practices, which are often hidden from the public. Occasionally, word will spread, giving us a glimpse into the depraved working conditions of these massive, massive companies. Did you see Alien Romulus?
No.
The beginning of Alien Romulus looked like an Amazon factory.
That's gonna be Mars when Elon conquers it.
When Elon? Emperor God Elon? So today, listen, guys, today I just want to talk about some of the scariest and deadliest working conditions on planet Earth. Roll the intro.
Where there's a whip, there's a way. Where there's a whip, there's a way. Where there's a whip, we don't want to go to war today. But the Lord of the lashes says, nay, nay, nay. We're gonna march all day, all day, all day. Where there's a whip, there's a way.
This idea came to fruition because of an article that me and Nick were fascinated with, which is about OpenAI and Sama working conditions, which are just like, you know, AI technology companies, whatever. But there was a very interesting article that came out. You might have heard of products like ChatGPT, DALL-E, Sora. These are like the leading companies of AI and, you know, computer learning and all that other bullshit that's raking in billions and billions of dollars a month, maybe even gazillions a year. What's after billions?
Quadrillions.
What's after quadrillions?
Pentillions.
When the f is gazillion? Is gazillion even real?
Gazillions, mate. That's.
You're telling me right now that gazillion isn't even a real number? Well, ladies and gentlemen, there goes my intelligence. Creating an AI model trained by the media and the internet means that inevitably there's gonna be issues. If we've seen some of the little dicey things that happen online, might not want computers learning from that. I don't want AI learning from that. Okay. Early on, people were finding clever ways to trick ChatGPT into bypassing its own moderation filters in order to spew racist language or even instruct people on how to properly build explosives, right? These people were able to basically trick the code, and all of a sudden now these AI models are saying some dicey stuff and they're telling children how to build literal explosives. And that led to DALL-E even giving disturbing images that it was learning from because people were able to bypass and do all that kind of stuff. Basically, moral of the story, a job was created. Content moderation. OpenAI began outsourcing the job to a company called Sama, a data training company that focuses mainly on AI algorithms. Workers from Kenya were hired as data laborers, which essentially meant parsing through thousands of images and videos to identify objects and help the AI understand how to identify them on its own, right? AKA, they were taking images of dead children, maybe child pornography, all kinds of stuff, and they were making these people sitting in a room and just be like, that's bad, to the computer, so the computer could just be this weird hive mind that's just like... Sama had absurdly high expectations, pressuring employees to identify complex videos and images at breakneck speeds, sometimes being given only a few seconds per labeling task, right? Was that a dead kid? Was that a dead kid? Within a 9-hour shift, they rushed to read and properly label up to 250 passages of text to avoid being punished. What is Sama doing back there? How are they punishing people? I know it is. They're like, all right, I'm fired. No. You're not fired. You go a level deeper. You're like, oh. A little hatch in the floor and throw it up. According to a 60-minute interview with Sama employees, completing the work allotted in their contract in advance never resulted in extra pay. Instead, they received, and this is a perk, they would receive 2 pieces of KFC chicken and a bottle of soda.
They used to say, thank you, they get you a bottle of soda and KFC chicken, 2 pieces, and that is it.
Not bad, dude. Colonel, I could have a couple pieces of chicken from the family bucket.
Hold on, this seems very racist. 2 pieces of chicken?
Listen, you can say it's racist from Sama or anything, but if you know what, I love the Colonel. Granted, I would love just more pay, but if they're giving me cherry Coke and a couple thighs, then why not, dude? It was normal for workers who had children and struggled to find work to live paycheck to paycheck at Sama. That's strange. Wow. It's so crazy to me where it's like, well, first off, I want to know, is there research? How many people are there? Even if it was thousands, you're telling me you can't throw
a 3rd chicken wing?
Yeah, another family bucket. No, I just mean like, you can't get them up fucking $15 an hour. I am the CEO of these channels. You think I'm not trying to line my pockets as well? I get it, all right, but I try to keep my boys happy, all right? Only when my boys are happy does this whole gravy train keep rolling.
That's why we get a bucket of KFC every day.
I'm not giving you a bucket of KFC. I know what I said, but I'm not going to. Your cholesterol is far too high, and that's coming from me. The job itself slowly became more and more bleak as the labeling tasks became downright disturbing. Because the AI models needed to identify and prohibit inappropriate language and images, many Sama employees spent entire work weeks combing through shocking visuals and text descriptions of vulgar content. Like pornography, drone attack, self-unaliving, dismembered bodies, bestiality, child abuse, sexual slavery, and even sexual acts against children. God damn, dude, what the fuck?
If you can think it, they saw it.
Yeah, I think they're just like, we're gonna have you use nothing but Bing search engines and Ask Jeeves. They're just like, oh no. One employee states that he endured repeated visions of some of the more disturbing texts, like a man having the dog in the presence of a young child. Gotta get those AI machines to learn somehow, right, boys? Here's $1.32 an hour. Thanks for that. Yeah, hey, you know what? For you're gonna get an extra chicken thigh today at lunch. Don't tell the others. Other employees were tasked with reading erotic online stories. Me too. In one case, a Batman fanfiction. In one case, a Batman fanfiction in which Robin is sexually assaulted by the villains.
Robin! No!
Sorry, Batman, but it looks like this bird's about to be plucked.
No!
I bet the other guy's pissed. That's all? You read about Robin getting his sucked by the Joker? But desperate for their paycheck, they did their job despite the psychological damage. And one employee reveals that they found themselves crying more in their daily lives due to the trauma after seeing these images. Another employee, Naftali Wambalo, admits that he struggles to enjoy sex with his wife after being forced to watch an endless stream of graphic material.
On the job that I was doing, I had sex.
All for people to just be like, to go to ChatGPT and be like, search image, Boogie 2988, but Chinese. It's like, cool. And there's a guy who's just like sitting at home, like, at Sama, strapped in, like, in the Clockwork Orange. All for some 8-year-old to be like, how to get Robux. And after 8 months, in February of 2022, Sama canceled the project with OpenAI. The employees, however, wanted them punished for their actions. Over 200 employees are currently in the process of suing Sama for poor work conditions. This extends to Meta as well, who previously used the same services to improve their content moderation as well. Content moderation? That'd be fucking mind-numbing. I did solar panels, like worked in the solar industry for a bit, like sending techs out to do solar or whatever. I thought that was mind-numbing. I can't even imagine what it's like sitting there having to read fan fiction. Like actually read it too, and if you don't do it, they're like, bye. And you're like totally just reliant. It's but let's hop on over to China, how about we, and talk about Shein. Shein is a Chinese clothing brand that creates fast fashion, which means producing clothes exclusively for online purchase at a rapid pace for incredibly cheap prices. Not only is fast fashion responsible for a lot of the environmental issues like greenhouse gas emissions, if you believe in that garbage, be sure to flash joking, dude, but it is often the culprit of incredibly unsafe work conditions. Companies like Shein subcontract their work to unregulated factories, and it is common that places like this do not follow proper labor laws, aka you get some children in there sewing. You get people pulling all-nighters, operating heavy machinery that could just mangle your body in an instance. They're just like, you've been awake how long? He's like 28 hours. Okay, we're gonna need you to stay a little later today. Got a bunch of yoga pants that we need you to sew up today. Is that okay? I guess. Public Eye, a Swiss company, exposed Shein for its horrible working conditions. After speaking to 13 employees from different factories across China that supplied to Shein, it was clear that they were being worked to the bone to reach their harsh deadlines.
Sounds like just 13 disgruntled employees. There's a lot of people in China.
Yeah, there's billions of people in China and we're gonna nitpick 13 of them. Shein makes the best underwear I have. It'd be a problem if they stopped manufacturing them. In order to allow companies like Shein to produce new lines of clothing at the speeds they require, many workers were pushed to commit to a 75-hour work week or more. And one employee stated, and I quote, "I work every day from 8 in the morning to 10:30 at night, and I take 1 day off each month. Can't afford any more days off because it costs too much." God damn, what would you do during that? I don't know what I would do with myself on my day off.
Spa day.
Yeah, you just go to the spot. It's worth it. It's spa day. The next day, immediately, you're just like, back on the 14-hour grind. Many worked an average of 12-hour days, 6 to 7 days a week. Imagine working 12 hours a day and never getting a day off. Imagine that. And don't say that's what your life is now, dude, because it's not true. This is despite Shein insisting their code of conduct that 60 hours was the maximum hours an employee could work. That's all you can work. Go home. No, seriously, go home. I guess he just wants to stay.
Well, you see, they can only work 60 hours on the books.
So yeah,
the rest of it is donated time.
We'll pay under the table. It's like my overtime, I'm getting paid less. I know. If you want to stay here and work, man, it's fine, but it's going to be cut in half. In a documentary called Inside the Shein Machine, Untold, hidden cameras revealed that some employees were working for as long as 18 hours a day, earning a measly 2 cents per item. So you need a lot of pennies to make it out of that hole, dude. Although employees worked around the clock, they received pay lower than the livable wage in China. And on top of this, workers who make mistakes often pay the price with their wallet. I like how it's like, yeah, if you up, they're like, we gotta pay for that. Jesus, dude. According to Public Eye, mothers and fathers were babysitting their children inside the factories. And in some cases, teenagers were seen packaging boxes. Although Shein denies the claim of any sort of child labor occurs in the factory. They're like, that doesn't happen. It's like a baby walking with like a hard hat on. He's actually 46 years old, right?
The Benjamin Button disease.
That's Gulong Button. Dude, do you think, has China ever done a Benjamin Button of their own? It's not called Benjamin Button, but it's called, his name's like Lo Kim Button.
Lee Button.
Lee Button? Dude, Lee Button would rule. Or I guess it would be Button Lee.
Yeah, Button Lee.
And Shein has tried to use their PR team to like make themselves look better, partnering with influencers and such.
I think my biggest takeaway from this trip is to be an independent thinker, get the facts and see it with your own 2 eyes. There's a narrative fed to us in the US, and I'm one that always likes to be open-minded and seek the truth. So I'm grateful for that about myself, and I hope the same for you guys.
But after other videos come out and just to expose them even more, I'm pretty sure all of their influencer partnerships have ended. Shein is a piece of shit. All right, that's just all I gotta say. Also, I just want to say too, just because we're on China and people basically having to work those wages. Have you seen that thing in what is it, like Beijing or something like that, where it's like people will rent out one bedroom apartment, but then they'll make like cages that are their own rooms and they'll stack it on. I forgot. I think they're just called cage apartments or something like that. It's crazy. But then they're like, I can barely afford this, dude. living in China would not be dope.
But I've seen videos where everyone's happy and it's futuristic.
No, dude. Shen Yun told me it's bad, therefore I'm not going. Let's move over to Packer Sanitation Services. Packer Sanitation Services is a company that specializes in cleaning slaughterhouse facilities all across the country. Which, if you haven't been to a slaughterhouse, or if you didn't grow up in the South and Midwest like I got to, let me tell you, slaughterhouses are one of the most vile, disgusting things you'll ever see in your life, and it is one of the worst smells of all time. Also, do you want to just feel perpetually sad? You like that? Get me over to Sheen, actually. I don't want to do this one. In 2022, PSSI was accused of using illegal child labor for its sanitation services. Over 100 teenagers between the ages of 13 to 17 years old worked overnight shifts performing dangerous tasks. And it's against federal laws for minors to work at a meat packing facility, as the hours conflict with average child school schedule. This also breaks the Fair Labor Standards Act, which forbids minors from working in hazardous work environments.
I was gonna say, that's the more important one.
Yeah, hazardous schools. She's like, yeah, but they also go to school at this time, dude. Also, for all these are all these country bumpkins, dude, that are doing this. They're just like, well, I guess I'm gonna go up there and clean the slaughterhouse today. That's a 13-year-old. Well, I guess me and Pa are gonna go up and see if we can't clean out the pig trough there today. Yeah, I'm sure Cletus is going to school. I'm gonna go to school tomorrow. I got a tummy ache today. The job duties involved cleaning various sharp blades used to cut meat, like brisket saws, brisket, and head splitters. Doing so means the use of incredibly hazardous chemicals. The work at PSSI has resulted in many fatalities in the past, and in 2019, that led to the death of Antonia Gutierrez. The man climbed into a chiller tank as he was cleaning it, only to get caught between the moving auger blades and decapitated himself as he screamed for help. He was literally cleaning a saw trap, and he became a saw victim. As the investigation started, PSSI did whatever they could to stop evidence from being discovered. When investigators would interview the children, PSSI managers reportedly surrounded the entire room so they could stare them down as they answer questions in order to pressure them to lie. Now, Cletus, did you climb in and clean any of the blades? I did not clean any of them blades. What about you, Buttonly? Oh. Okay. After interviewing some of the children involved, it was revealed that their shifts sometimes went from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. up to 7 days a week. I tell you too, some of the Southern boys too, they're just like, I already got a full-time job. I'm playing, down at Randy's there on the corner. I'm planning on getting a truck next Thursday. My daddy says if I stick with it, I might be up to 10 within next summer. You're 7 years old. Yes, sir. The younger children would either miss school or fall asleep during classes. Oh, yeah, I'm sure that's the... Cletus, you want to wake up? We're talking about algebra. I ain't going to be no scientist or rocket scientist. I don't need to know numbers. I gotta think of something funnier. Whatever. The investigation across other PSSI sites revealed that many minors were employed, and eventually they were forced to pay the sum of $15,138 per minor working there, and in the end, they paid $1.5 million in penalties. I bet you anything, they're just like, okay, I'll pay that. Also, Cletus is still working here. I'm not firing him. He's our best cleaner. Or how about, let's get back into technology, dude. I'm tired of all these. Who gives a about these inbred redneck pieces of shit? I'm talking about, I want to go into the tech again. That's where the money is. Foxconn Technology Group is a Taiwanese electronics manufacturer that partners with some of the biggest companies in the world, mostly Apple, to create their products. In 2022 alone, they reached more than 760,000 employees. The phrase iPhone City refers to the central manufacturing hub in Zhengzhou, China, that at one point produced half of the world's iPhones and other Apple products. It stretches 5.6 kilometers, employing 200,000 workers. While the pay is better than other options in the area, the work is grueling. A man that goes by Hunter commented that the job was like, quote, working under a whip, rapidly completing the same task endlessly, day after day, forced to stay utterly silent for the entire duration of their shift. I do like how they're just like, hey man, how's your day? Shut up! Make the iPhone! Amongst the pandemic, Foxconn insisted that those who wanted to work there must move into the dormitory rooms inside of the factory. Ugh. The rooms themselves were 6 square meters and were shared with other employees. The rooms had no windows, so employees had no clue of what time of day it was. Jesus Christ, looks like an army barracks, doesn't it? On the job, his managers did not want him or anyone working to stop even for a mere second. He recalled seeing one employee have his pay rate reduced for simply drinking water for slightly too long.
What?
What does that even mean? Okay, dude, that's excessive. And one employee revealed that they would have to sprint to the bathroom if they wished to use it and return without getting scolded.
That sounds like Amazon.
It does sound like Amazon. If there's piss jugs, then it might just be Amazon. During COVID, workers were told that they shouldn't get tested for the virus so that they could continue working and not be forced to quarantine. Because of this, workers would be squeezed between other feverish workers for 11-hour days. Everybody's getting sick at that job. It was normal to see employees acting erratic from the working conditions, passing out from exhaustion, and attempting to unalive themselves from sheer stress. Some revealed that when a worker made a particularly big mistake, they would make them write a letter of apology that would be read out loud in front of other employees to embarrass them and make an example out of them.
Jesus.
They're making iPhones, dude. These are definitely power trip people that have like been in those roles before. Now they're out. So now they're like, I'm gonna treat everyone like a piece of shit. Foxconn did what they could to stop stories about their poor working conditions from being released to the public, even resulting in dragging a Reuters journalist out of his car and beating him for trying to take photos.
Jesus.
I like, he's just like taking a photo of something else and they're just like, get him! Foxconn's biggest scandal was in 2010 when it was revealed that the workers from Longu were jumping off dorm buildings in droves, unaliving themselves in desperation. And after 18 attempts and 14 confirmed deaths, large nets had to be installed outside the buildings to catch falling bodies, which people now have, the nets have become, I think, a kind of a widespread thing. But imagine that. Your working conditions are so bad that they actually put McDonald's giant play nets out. You know what I mean? Like for the play place when you'd like fall through the thing. Unbelievable. In 2012, workers used this bad PR to force better work conditions, and 150 workers had climbed to the rooftops and threatened management that they would all jump unless their demands were met. And also, there's quite literally an entire Wikipedia page of people who have taken their own life from Foxconn. One entry for Soon Dan Yong states that he, quote, threw himself from an apartment building after losing an iPhone prototype in his possession. And before death, he claimed he was beaten and his residence searched by Foxconn employees.
I'm wondering if that's what started it, because I remember that was big news. I think he was at a bar and he left the phone at the bar.
Yeah, it was like a prototype thing, and he's like, oh, I left the thing there, which, oopsie daisy, whatever it, you know. I guess if it's a prototype, it's a big deal, but at the same time, too, it's like, you know that there was some unruly shit that they did to him, tortured him, did all kinds of shit. Drive somebody to death? Come on. But to close out the video, we're going to talk about the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory. Let's go back in time a little bit, dude. We're talking about too much real stuff now. Let's go back in time to where the world was black and white and things were just a bit more silly. The Triangle Shirtwaist Factory operated in the top of 3 floors of the Ox building in Manhattan. It was essentially a sweatshop that hired teenage immigrant girls, working them for 12 hours a day, 7 days a week for very little pay. The working conditions were very poor. These are some of the things. The building was unsanitary. The air quality was poor and the room was not air conditioned. Bathrooms hardly worked. The stairwells were poorly lit, and the sprinkler system in the building did not work. That's foreshadowing. You like foreshadowing? Considering everything that they were creating was highly flammable, this was as unsafe as it gets. Suddenly, a random spark in the building turned into a fire. Managers tried to clear it quickly with fire hose, only to find out that it was rusted shut, with no sprinklers to weaken the flames. They spread rapidly as they lit the garments ablaze. 600 workers rushed to the elevators to escape, having to exit in groups of 12 before eventually shut down. For the rest of the women stuck on the top floor, they had no choice but to jump down the elevator shafts to their deaths. The stairwells led to doors that were locked, leading to more women burning to death. Firefighters arriving on the scene witnessed girls jumping out of windows, completely out of options as the fire inched closer and closer. Not only did they die, but some landed on top of fire hoses, slowing down the firefighters' ability to fight the fire. Firefighters' nets were laid out to catch the rest of the jumpers, only for multiple women to jump simultaneously, ripping them open and ending their lives. Ultimately, 146 people died in the span of 18 minutes. It was a huge disaster, one that led to worker safety being taken much more seriously, and people pushed heavily for reform, resulting in worker protection laws as well as high standards for factory operations. I'm almost positive that led to like buildings having fire exits and stuff. It's genuinely alarming how companies can force people to, in poor living areas, poor living conditions, to strong arm them into these horrible jobs, making iPhones the worst job. Out of all the, well, let me ask you this. All these jobs are horrible. Just want to say that. Horrible things that happen. Out of all those jobs, what were the ones that you think, which was the worst job?
With the Sama thing, you are mentally being like tortured, but
yeah.
Then Foxconn is almost the same because it's like you're living in a dorm.
I feel like out of today's list, Foxconn was the one that scared me the most. Listen, all of them horrible, but I'm just saying Foxconn, it felt like it was just the worst of everything. So I just gotta say this. If you find a good job, hold on to it tight. Don't take shit from any employers who try to f with you. And you know, Godspeed with this crazy work adventure. Amazon, I use them almost every day. Apple. I use my iPhone every day. I'm a part of the problem. Take me out. No, literally shoot me in the head. Take me out. Also, all the employees who talked about my working conditions here at the studio, I just want to say they've all been fired, and they've been replaced with 9-year-old Alabama children who are cleaning up the studio as we speak. So, you know, sucks to suck. Public Eye, a Swiss advocacy. Public Eye, a Swiss I can't say that, dude. Public Eye, a Swiss advocacy. I can't say that. Public Eye, a Swiss good people group. Public Eye, a Swiss advocacy. Public Eye, a Swiss
Support company.
Public Eye, a Swiss company, exposed Shein for its horrible working conditions. Welcome back to the papameat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Coming and sitting down because today we're talking about arguably one of the worst things ever made. And this is in the context, you know, people throw around the words worst film of all time, right? It gets thrown around a lot. Of course, there's a lot of terrible films out there. And even the one today, is it technically the worst film of all time? It just might be.
Jesus. Damn. No! Shit, got him. Damn it. Start fire!
I think it just might be. Because there's a lot of things you have to consider when talking about these things. First off, we're talking about War of the Worlds. It's a new Amazon Prime studio movie starring Ice Cube.
Touchdown.
All I know is we sat down, we were watching Rock of Love, we're getting ready to do season 2 video, and I kept seeing people talk about how bad this movie was, and I was like, you know what, while we're sitting here, let's just take a break and let's watch this thing. It's an hour and 20 minutes long. Sure. I can't begin to tell you how horrible this movie is. It's weird. It feels like a YouTube film, back when like Freddie Wong was really big, you know, when people were making like special effects, like short films. It feels like that, except substantially worse. But what's weird as well is that War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise came out in 2006, looks substantially better, which even you could argue the whole thing of like, oh, they had way more money and all that stuff. It's like, sure, but technology has come so far to where I feel like it would offset it a bit. I wanted to make this video. It's unbelievable. And I just wanted to make this video and break it down for you so you don't have to spend time and we can laugh at this together. And this message goes out directly to Ice Cube. How could you possibly need this money to do this thing? I have to know at what point. I mean, this is irreparable damage to Ice Cube's career and him as a person. I don't know how you actually went through with this. Fire your agent immediately.
Oh no.
There's a lot to unpack at the beginning of this film. Starts off, kind of reminded me of that horror film Unfriended, where it starts off and it's like a person logging on to their computer, and the whole film takes place from a desktop. Even in Unfriended, which is also a very terrible movie, you at least have the webcams make sense because they're on Skype talking to each other. Ice Cube logs into his computer. He works for the DHS. When he even logs in, it says his name is William Radford. He's a domestic terror analyst or something like that. Just kind of weird. And that's just, you know, it's just trying to give you information without doing it without him basically being like, I'm a domestic terror analyst. But it still feels as loud and as stupid as that. I mean, even on his desktop, there's like a little program called Guardian, and there's just a picture of his son, David. It's just David_09. It's just one of those things that, like, there's a son. And the big difference between this film and a lot of other films that go into this, which I have to remember from Unfriended, pretty sure in Unfriended, it's just you get the Skype call and it cuts to them and it uses the vignette of the desktop to showcase all these people. Immediately in this movie, like the zooming and moving in around the desktop is not only jarring, but it looks so stupid. It's so, like, I mean, it legitimately feels like something that like a high schooler would make. Amazon Studios made this. Okay? Ice Cube's job is to just scan every camera in the world and look for terrorists. That's what he does for like about a minute. Is him drinking a no-branded coffee cup, basically just highlighting people and spying on them. And you immediately felt like, oh, the government's spying on us, and that you can. It's just very heavy-handed. Like this is what the movie's gonna be about. You don't really know how stupid it's gonna get, but you kind of have a gist of, okay, you know, he's using the government's technology of spying on us to basically find out about this threat, right? And he pulls up in his little like terrorist app or whatever, he pulls up like a group, like people he's watching, and the names on this spreadsheet are so fucking stupid. It's Black Cat, Dark Overlord, Thelma and Louise, Scattered Spider, and the only one with a profile picture, Disruptor. All right. Oh yeah. So he's sitting there. He's doing his job. He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna catch you guys." And then Sandra from NASA calls, and she's like, "Hey, you should watch this." And it's just this huge fucking storm. And then basically, it's just them basically like, something isn't right.
Something is way off.
Yeah. Well, I got bigger fish to fry than watching clouds.
And Ice Cube, they could not have had him for more than a day. This movie is full of ADR, which is basically like you recording your lines after the fact. It's like pickup audio, but I'm almost 99% positive they probably use AI generated voices of these actors in maybe half of it.
Storms the world experienced were from thousands of meteors blasting through the atmosphere.
Stand by, I'm rerouting her sail to our satellite.
They're looking around. Ice Cube's like, something's not right. It's like, yeah, dude, look at the fucking footage. The film also does this. It takes a lot of like B-roll from like actual news broadcasts and stuff, or even like the Palisades fire. Other weird, like there's a lot of footage where you're like, it feels really tasteless that they're using. But then Disruptor, who was on the list, is having a live stream. Ice Cube starts to sit in on it, and he's watching the Disruptor talk about it, and he's like, oh boy, I'm gonna catch you. And he's trying to basically track his location. But while he's tracking this supposed terrorist who's on a watch list, he's also using his cameras to spy on his daughter, and he's like calls her at the cafe because she bought a muffin, and he's like, come on, you know muffins are bad for you.
Really? A muffin?
She's like, Dad, come on, you could have had an egg.
Dad, how many times have we been
One
through
hard
this?
boiled egg.
And it's the worst fake pregnant belly. His daughter Faith has the single, I mean, it's horrible. It looks so low. It looked like she had flat abs, and then they just put like a bump like basically near her like upper pussy area where it's like, is it supposed to be that low? I feel like it's not supposed to be that low. Then we get introduced to his son because his son spends $250 on Steam, and he hacks his son's computer and deletes the game, and that's when his son calls him.
Yo, did you delete my game?
You know you're wasting your time with that game.
This is where you find out immediately that they have no sets, and they paid these actors to sit, and maybe the one like Ice Cube and the other guys who have been in movies, they're not moving out of their seated positions, but they're gonna have actors like walk around. It's just all gonna be from webcams, and my God, it's so lazy. That's the thing too, is like it might not be the worst movie, but I would easily consider it one of the laziest movies I've ever seen. Anyways, he deletes his game, and Ice Cube tells his son Dave that he needs to get a real job. And his son gives him some weird shit where he's like, gaming is my job, Dad. And he's like, come on, boy.
Dad, playing video games is my job.
And he like hangs up the phone. Also, he's tracking this terrorist the whole time while he's having these interactions with his children. This is the most irresponsible way to spend your time. I can't tell if it's supposed to be like, you know, that cliche at the beginning of found footage movies where it's like, we need to spend the first 20 to 30 minutes of like us joking around, we're pounding around, and this is the camera, this is how it works, we're setting up all this stuff, hey, we're all wacky, to where then it's like, yeah, later when they die, you're gonna feel real sad. It felt like a little bit of that. Ice Cube is flying a drone. Also, he like there's like basically childish maps of cities, and he just gets to like click on icons and go. It's like it's like an iPad for children where they get to just click on stuff, and he's like, all right, I'm in the drone now. And then he gets a call from his daughter's boyfriend, Mark, who is an Amazon delivery driver.
Amazon.
There's gonna be a lot of Amazon references in this movie. Don't worry. And I really can't emphasize enough that he's like, all right, yeah, I'm gonna hack this person.
You are officially bam. Bam.
That was easy.
And he like goes and looks at his daughter, and you're like, what the fuck? What is this movie? What are we doing? He's like, okay, I gotta make sure that she's okay. It's why? For what reason? I don't know. Yeah, and then she like changes her password, and he just like types in, he's like, I need this password, and the thing just generates the password, and I'm like, I don't think that's how it works. It's one of those things where it's like, you could tell whoever wrote this really had no idea about hacking or technology in that way, and they're just like, he works for the government, they have crazy technology, right? It's just so stupid. And it ends up like getting into her computer and reading text between Faith and her boyfriend Mark, the Amazon guy, and basically they're like, he's probably seeing a drone to watch us, and he's like, damn, I am.
Damn.
Then Mark says something like, one day you're gonna save the world, and then he sends her a link to an article that she's in, and it's like, biologist creates cannibal code to attack 6 cells. Just foreshadowing. You just got foreshadowed. But also it's just like, okay, so his daughter is like this super biologist who's dating an Amazon delivery driver. Yeah, well, which it's not like that's totally impossible, but it's just funny. He's like, you're gonna save the world one day, babe.
God, think about it now. Yeah, that's so cringe.
It's so stupid. It's so dumb. It's so cringe. Ice Cube goes to his dead wife's Facebook page, and the banner is like clearly an AI picture of Ice Cube and his like kids. It's very uncanny Ice Cube image. And he messages her, I miss you. And you notice that he messages her 1 year apart exactly. So it's like today, 1 year ago, 2 year ago, 3 year ago. And there's a voicemail, and the voicemail is just a 4-second clip of an AI woman basically being like, don't forget to pick up the groceries and watch the kids. I love you.
Remember to take out the trash today and be nice to the kids. I love you, baby.
And he's like, damn. Yeah. Which that's what Ice Cube says that a lot in this movie. God damn. Ah, damn.
Oh, shit.
And then to show that time elapses, the clock on the bottom of the screen, there is a crossfade of 20 minutes going by, 10 or 20 minutes going by. You could just do a cut and be like, oh yeah, I got, time has gone by. And then it cuts to like an FBI agent getting out of a car because they found the hacker that he's been tracking on the computer while he's been bickering with his kids. So Ice Cube is like going around there. He's like, here, let me go inside this building and hack the security cameras. And he's clicking around, and they're all like videos of like people inside. One of them's like a baby hitting another baby with a bag of dog food or something.
Oh, yeah, he's like, oh, wrong one.
And he's like, oh damn. And he clicks the next one.
Little punk.
And then when he clicks the disruptors building, it's just a feed that's just the same like hooded like anonymous guy, and it's like, are we led to believe that's the view, like the guy sitting in his apartment like with the hood up? Like it just doesn't make any fucking sense. While the police are raiding that building, Ice Cube gets another video from Sandra from NASA, and it shows lightning in the sky, and she's just like, hey, the weather's actually still really bad. Damn. And then like all the videos they're showing of the weather being bad, like the lightning is over the trees, and it's like really superimposed very poorly in this deal. And like one of them looks like God is like tearing open the sky. And he's like, okay, I'll call you back. What do you mean? But it turns out that the terrorist, the disruptor, used a decoy, and while this is happening, missiles start flying through the sky. You're probably like, this feels like a lot of random vignette. This is exactly how I felt watching it.
I will say the movie does not slow down.
The movie, not only does it not slow down, it's just kind of like it's giving information in a way you're like, oh, what's that? Okay. Oh, what's it? Oh, there it goes. It's that. I can't tell if from the old War of the Worlds of Tom Cruise, which Tom Cruise is kind of like a deadbeat dad who hasn't really been there for kids. He has a very strained relationship with his kids. But through this movie, he kind of like proves to them that he's a good father, and he kind of like steps up and becomes the dad that he's supposed to be. It's a good movie. I like the original War of the Worlds, even though the ending, I think they all just like catch COVID and die.
With the aliens?
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the kids.
No. But it's done in a way where that motivation is the core around the entire film. Yes, aliens are attacking, but it's really about Tom Cruise trying to be a good dad and save his kids in the midst of this thing. That's what it's about. This movie is like, he has a dead wife. He's trying to like, I guess, protect his kids. He's mostly just spying on them. I didn't really think that he was doing anything beneficial besides being like a nosy dude who hasn't like, I think they legitimately said he hasn't left his job in like a year. Like he's been staying at the office.
When's the last time you left the office?
That's classified.
But then the movie pivots real hard when you find out what these like when the aliens come to Earth, what the aliens want. Ugh, God. So missiles anyway start attacking Earth, and there's a lot of like motion with camera shake. It's really cheap, but God, this CGI. Oh my God. It looks like, a DreamWorks movie from like early 2000s or something. The smoke is so like bubbly and cartoony. There's tons of stuff happening, and then when they show stuff in the real world, it's like they're just filming on a street in California somewhere. So all this crazy stuff is happening, but nothing around them is reacting in any way. It looks so bad. A news report was outside and gets annihilated by a missile. That's pretty funny. The editing and the special effects, just the sequences are just, it's so obnoxious, and you just keep cutting back to Ice Cube, who's just in this little vignette, and it's just him being like, no!
God damn!
God damn! No! Even that's too much motion. No!
Yeah, he was not giving his all.
No! I need to know how much he got paid.
I was looking for the budget. I can't find it.
They're keeping that shit locked up tight. If I was a betting man, all right, with all the talent that they have, because there's like some people that have been in some stuff, I'm guessing 15 million. In terms of movie money, that's not a lot, but still.
I was gonna say 5, like $1 million to Ice Cube.
No, it's got to be 15. I mean, like, I'm doubling it. 30 million is what I legitimately believe, actually. God. So Sandra from NASA is calling her, and she's like running through her office. She's like, "Can you believe this?" And there's like a guy in the background who just like casually walks by. It's like there's so many of those little moments in the movie where it's like, yeah, so they talk to the actor and they're like, yeah, so run down frantically down the stairs, and they're using a commercial space or something. So then the guy is like, I don't give a fuck, and he just like walks by. Looks so stupid. Ice Cube's building gets hit, and he starts to panic and spies on his daughter again. He can't find her, and then he finds out that she's like under her desk at her job, and then like a weak signal thing pops up, but it's just an overlay over the actual video, but you can still see her like perfectly moving around. So it's like, is the signal weak? Ice Cube ends up calling his son, and he's running through the streets. Very, very funny. He's sitting there, he's like, "Run, boy, run!"
Listen to me. Get out of there. Now. No. You gotta get out. Keep running. Whoa!
And he's running through, and the kid keeps like looking at the camera like, he keeps using these tools to help him, but it's just like the technology is so not believable, in the point to where it's gonna be like in 5 years this is gonna look even dumber. Like, just have him type on something and be like, "Oh yes, you should go here." Don't even show the interface. The interfaces look like old Pac-Man maps. Take a right.
Take a right now.
And so it's like, it freezes on Dave's face, and you think he's dead. This video is sponsored by Cook Unity. Summer is winding down, and it's almost time to get back to the grind. But God, it's hot, which means I don't want to be heating up my oven and doing too much hot stove bullshit. Luckily, Cook Unity provides meals that are diet-friendly and designed by award-winning chefs. And Cook Unity include high-quality ingredients and are ready to enjoy in just a few minutes. Plus, with Cook Unity, I don't have to worry about grocery shopping, waiting in lines, or chopping onions, saving me a ton of time and money to get the important stuff done. The best thing about Cook Unity is the variety. Ooh! With hundreds of weekly meals to choose from, I get to try new foods out in a non-stressful environment and also have fresh takes on old favorites. Try new food without less stress. I want to try this, but God. If you need options for vegan, gluten-free, or paleo, Cook Unity has options for that as well. Save time and eat well. Go to the link in the description now to try Cook Unity and get 50% off your first order of chef-made meals delivered fresh to your door. That's 50% off your first order when you click the link in the description or use my code papameat to try it out. Thank you so much to Cook Unity for sponsoring this video. And then Sandra goes up to one of the meteors outside. She's like now out of the city. And there's like a giant, she's like, this thing's like 30 feet tall. It's like a meteor. And she's like touching it. I'm like, you work for NASA.
She's like, "Oh, it's cold."
She's like, wow, it's cold.
It's freezing cold.
Like, don't you think that there'd be like radiation or like, would you touch that? While she's touching, like, it's cold. This like horrible VHS looking like special effects tentacle comes out of it, and it looks like a PS1 graphic. And they try to add glitches to the camera to like hide it, you know, but it's like, why is the phone glitching? It's just it's little moments like that where in the edit they're like, that looks really bad. throw a VHS glitch over it. But it's an iPhone, just throw the VHS glitch over it. Basically, by this point in the movie, it's insane that you're 20 minutes in and you realize I still have like an hour or an hour and 10 minutes to go.
This was a slog.
It's one of those films where I'm like, is it actually fun to watch? Because I feel like I was just screaming at the TV the whole time. There's the only thing that makes it funny is the line reads by Ice Cube are really funny. When he says like, "God damn." Damn. Or damn. That's good every time. A lot of the shots don't make sense in the editing because, once again, we're led to believe that's all found footage and we're seeing stuff through people's camera. So whenever the girl who's like the police officer that Ice Cube was talking to earlier, she's like out in the street, she's recording the monster, but then the film cuts to her reaction. She's like, holy shit. And it's like as if she like flipped the camera around to say that and then flips it back, but it's just done in a way where it's a cut and then she just gets eviscerated with a laser. And then, you know, once again, you hear Ice Cube, "No!" or "God damn!"
Oh my God.
The aliens start coming out of the ground, but once again, it just doesn't make sense. Also, it's just like static 3D models just tweening upwards like that. One of the aliens comes out of a boat, but yet it's being like there's just rubble, like it came out of like the earth. So it's like coming out of like a boat in the ocean, but it's just like covered in like dirt and shit.
Well, it's like a 3D asset they bought.
Well, yeah, it's like they just had it tween up, and they're just like putting some drop physics on it. It's okay. I mean, it's so lazy. Ice Cube once again has another funny. I cannot emphasize it enough. He hits an infamous, damn. His daughter calls him, and she's getting attacked by the alien, which is funny. She's just outside. So this whole thing's happening. She's outside, and that's when Ice Cube's like, what are you doing outside?
What are you doing outside?
Get away from that thing! Run!
Get away from that! Run!
And she's just like I don't know, 20 feet away from this giant monster. What are you doing by that thing? It's like, what do you mean? It's so stupid. The alien shoots a laser, or it shoots down like a helicopter, and it crashes, and then you fake out that the daughter died again. And then he pulls up her heart rate, which maybe you could maybe say she's wearing like a Fitbit or something, or like an Apple Watch or whatever that can keep track of that shit. And he's like, which I'm not a doctor, Nick. Oh, you need to calm down. Your heart rate's too high.
Your heart rate is way too high. Don't you move, okay?
And it's at like 98.
Yeah.
Isn't cardio like a standard cardio heart rate like 120 to 130 something? I thought a dangerous heart rate's like 180s. Is that wrong? Fact check here. But also, so the thing hit. There was no one else around her, by the way. She like raises the phone up. It's still crystal beautiful. It looked like a beautiful day to film. Just want to say that. She has, I think, like maybe a smudge on her cheek, but that's it. There was a huge explosion right by her, and they're not covered at all. They like we're just kind of like, we don't. There's no makeup. Then she's sitting there and she gets up. She's like, Dad, I'm hurt real bad. I got this in my leg.
How are you? How's the baby?
Oh my God, it hurts so bad.
Okay, stay calm. Stay calm.
It's like this like piece of, I don't know what, like a fucking Duracell battery in her leg or something. Probably the funniest moment of the movie is Ice Cube being like, I'm on my way.
Here I come.
And he gets up and runs over, and he's like, ah, damn, the door's locked. They locked me in.
Damn it. Locked it.
And he's like shaking, like shaking this door. I feel like you could bust down this door, but then he just sits back down. He says, all right, I'm gonna figure something out. And then he hacks into a nearby Tesla. His daughter's able to like hobble in. We've seen these robots shoot lasers and destroy things, but the Tesla just drives off and the thing doesn't shoot it or anything. He just does, man, that was close.
Man, that was close. Hey, listen to me. I got you.
The hospitals are all full, so he takes her somewhere else.
Well, that's what's funny. Oh, the hospital's awful. Don't worry, I'll take you somewhere else.
It's almost like, yeah, it's almost like you're going to Texas Roadhouse for dinner. It's like, oh, I don't have it. It's all full up. Let's go somewhere else to eat. This is also a great part too, because she's in the back of the Tesla. There's all these different screens, and she says, there's so much destruction, and they're driving on perfectly clean roads. I don't know why you would use these angles. There's one of like the steering, the dashboard. You see out, and people are driving normally. Like using real footage of just like an LA street, and it looks like a beautiful day. Makes no sense. It's so dumb. I know for a fact the editor or the director was just like, nah, they're never gonna look up there.
Yeah, it's in the corner.
It's in the corner. They're gonna be focused on her. Look, she's bleeding her leg. Could you have not have just focused on the back seat cam? That's it then? And then you can like, yeah, I mean, you can kind of see out the windows, but whatever. Just get rid of all the other shit and get rid of Ice Cube's goofy ass face and every shot just. Damn. While this is all happening, the world is ending. Pretty much, right? There's an alien attack, and Ice Cube keeps bringing up like family drama at the worst time, to where it's just like they're really trying to force that like dad arc story plot, and it just doesn't make any sense.
You think you have the power to keep the world safe. You gotta wake up. You don't have any power.
Like trying to have an intimate conversation, there's nothing intimate when it's all over a phone, right? You're not in front of somebody interacting with them. So now it all feels just like fabricated and extremely forced. And at every instance, you're just like, why are you talking about this right now? Are you concerned about your daughter dying? And he's just like, I should have been a better dad. The Tesla only has 2 miles left of battery, so then he like hacks a program. He turns everything on low power mode, and it gives her 19 miles, and he literally does. Ice Cube does a Zoom call with the president and he's reading a script. When I say that this is might be the worst line read in film history, I would put my money on it. So much so that I'm going to play a large part of it here.
Mr. President, gentlemen, we're seeing a full attack on our infrastructure, on power grids, water, communication, and top-level military targets.
I can't tell if it's him reading a script that's in front of him and just kind of being like, they're going to be stronger in numbers, so we have to do that, like he doesn't care, or if they're just using an AI script prompter and then they do that.
It's hard to tell.
It's extremely hard. If that's Ice Cube acting, I mean, the president just says like, well, I guess you're right. We have no other choice. I'm saying go to war with the aliens. And then Ice Cube's like, yeah.
I see no other option to initiate this war of the worlds to save us all.
The president, I believe, says it's going to be a war of the worlds, okay? Which is extremely cringe and on the nose, but I couldn't tell. I thought it was a nod to, today we celebrate our Independence Day, from the Independence Day movie in the 90s.
Today, we celebrate our Independence Day.
But then it's like everywhere. The president's calling it War of the Worlds. And it's like, name the movie. The world starts basically like attacking the aliens and killing them really easily. And then you get a great montage of Ice Cube's most embarrassing lines where he's like, yeah, take that.
Got him. Got him. Woo, hell yeah. Take your intergalactic asses back home. Back home.
And then he immediately cuts back. He's like, what the hell do they want? Which felt like an insert because I'm like, they never really asked what the aliens are doing. So it's just like a hard cut of him going, the hell do they want? So we are not even halfway through the movie, okay? And while the world is fighting, Ice Cube checks in on his daughter again and sees, you know, the Tesla's full of blood. It's empty. She's like, oh my God. He goes through and basically Ice Cube has to call her boyfriend Mark. They just record over his lines again because they're just like, no one's gonna care. Everyone's gonna hate this, so let's just record over it.
I'm almost there, Pops. You better be. You call me as soon as you get there, okay? I will.
Sandra from NASA calls and gets blasted with sound waves. She holds her head while filming a selfie of herself. It's pretty funny. She's like, ah! The aliens are just standing by buildings, and then once again you get another good Ice Cube. What the hell are they doing? And they're just standing by like a building. He's like,
what are they doing?
Also, he keeps taking his glasses off and putting them back on. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
He did that a lot.
He's got to do something. He's at a desk.
He's at a desk the whole movie. So Dave, Ice Cube's son, calls Ice Cube and tells him that Goliath, a secret government program that Ice Cube doesn't know about, who works for the government, is real. But Ice Cube says it's crazy. He's just like, man, that's fake news.
It's called Goliath.
That's fake news.
Think about it.
Sandra, the NASA bitch, once again calls Ice Cube and shows a shot down alien, which by this point in the movie too, you just think about it, I'm like, is Ice Cube the only person in this department actually working? Because she's like, I need to get intel. And I'm like, why is there no one else around helping anybody? So then Sandra goes up. She's like, oh yeah, look, it's weird. I'm gonna go inside.
It looks like it smashed its way into the building. I'm going in.
And then she goes inside and she's attacked by a bunch of bugs.
Oh my God.
Sandra.
They're in my clothes.
Sandra.
And that's when you find out that the world is getting cyber attacked for their data. The aliens came to Earth to eat our data.
The machine's destinations appear to be top secret government data centers.
Whoever wrote this was like, fuck, just like a parallel of companies right now with us. Our data is being constantly stolen and sold to people. Holy shit. The parallels. And then also it's supposed to be like, yeah, the same way that fucking Ice Cube's spying on us and collecting our data. The War of the Worlds people are doing that too. Holy shit, that is gold. I just want to ask, what would an alien do with our social security number?
Well, especially if they're destroying the world. If everyone's gonna be dead, it's like, what's the point?
If you're killing everybody, what does our personal data give you at all? What? I think that it's supposed to be that they can like control like our airplanes.
Well, that's the thing. The airplanes start crashing because the data's being eaten.
Because the data's being eaten. So planes are falling out of the sky, which there is a Boeing nod to that too. So I'm like wondering if they're like, And then someone says the military is sitting ducks without their data.
The military are sitting ducks and being slaughtered without their advanced digital systems.
Faith, Ice Cube's daughter, took out a piece of shrapnel from her leg. First, I was just gonna say she's a superstar biologist that we found out is gonna save the world. And then she says, I thought I could stop the bleeding if I took it out.
I thought that I could stop the bleeding if I took it out.
I am a borderline retarded man, Nick, and I know that if like I got shot with an arrow or got shot, you don't take it out because that is stopping the blood loss. Which then her Amazon boyfriend takes out clear tape and decides to fix it. Ice Cube's like, no!
Mark, no! You gotta get something else, man. You need a tourniquet.
Trust me. I'm a pro. I think it's supposed to be funny that like him packaging boxes is helping that, which that's not the only time that him working at Amazon is like saving the day. We're finding more and more that him conveniently working at Amazon is like actually extremely beneficial to this entire story, which newsflash to Amazon, don't do that when you're producing the fucking movie, dumbasses. So Sandra cuts back, even though the last time we saw her, her like face was getting eaten by bugs or something. But she's like, hey, sorry I did that. I have pets now. And she drops like a little mason jar that has 3 of these little data bugs in it, and they just go over to this SD card and they're like, and that's when Ice Cube's like, why are they going after the chip?
Why are they going after the chip?
And then once again, it's like, oh yeah, they eat data. Oh, damn.
Holy shit.
And we get another montage of the world going to shit.
Tanker ships around the globe are frozen without any GPS data, and oil rigs are combusting.
This is terrible.
And we see a plane crash with really shitty CGI. I bet you they were literally flying out of LAX, and they're like, oh yeah, we need that for the movie. And they just record it with an iPhone. All right, yeah, send this to the VFX guy or something. Send it off. And then that's whenever even the news sources say this. They say the world is in complete chaos without our precious resource, our data.
We are in utter chaos without our most precious resource, our data.
Shit. The data around the world is getting deleted. So Ice Cube goes to his wife's Facebook page and he sees all of his old messages getting deleted. And then he's like listening to the voice message again and it goes, and then gets deleted.
Remember to take out the trash today and be nice to the kids.
Like it's a tape melting. Yeah. I was like, I don't think that works like that, but fuck! And then we get a cryptic message from the hacker. Data is food for the superior intelligent aliens. Disruptor. Who are you, Disruptor? Tell me.
The government knew this would happen, and they activated Goliath anyway.
But then he sits there and he does, wait, why does that sound familiar? He said something earlier to where his son said that line. He's like, wait, what? But it's like a very generic line to where I'm like, I feel like anybody could have said that.
If they locate Goliath and consume its data, the world will return to the Stone Age. The invaders won't stop until they have it all.
Takes the audio and like decrypts it. And then it turns out that Disruptor is his son, Dave.
Won't stop until they have it all. Won't stop until they have it all. Won't stop until they have it all.
Everything honest, and it won't stop until they have it all.
Won't stop until they have it all.
He does, ah!
It's you! It's you!
My own son's hacking the government. It's you? And he does, yeah, Dad.
Well, yes, kind of.
How could you, man?
He says, the past is the past. I'm ready to work together. Are you? He just, I'll call you back.
Look, the past is the past. I'm ready to work together now. Are you?
I gotta go.
and then Dave sends Ice Cube all the files in the Goliath program, and you find out that the Goliath program that he was talking about earlier is like a super secret ultimate surveillance system that the US government made to where they can like predict people's actions. But then the file folders also have like Rothwell files for aliens. They have the Skinwalker Ranch folder for some reason, UAPs, all these files where I'm like, it's just like kind of like, yeah, every conspiracy is because of the Goliath program, Dad.
Goliath. Damn.
And then Ice Cube once again coming in with another solid line. They collecting data. That's what brought them here in the first place.
Collecting data? That's what brought them here in the first place.
He's like, my son was right. They've been lying to me the whole time.
Dave was right. They lied to me the whole time.
Lazy movie! If you see a picture of Briggs, everyone else is blurred out, by the way, because it's a real photo and they had to Photoshop the guy in. So everyone else's photos like blurred out. And he's like, oh, damn it. Briggs is in on it the whole time.
Holy shit. Briggs is behind the whole thing.
Who's like a government guy that's working with him too. And he's like smiling. So you find out Goliath is real, and it's what's caused aliens to come to Earth when it was activated. It's so powerful that it sent out a signal to the aliens, and they were so tantalized by our data that they came to Earth. After the call, he calls Briggs, and he's like, "You did it." He's like, "Haha, yes, it was me."
Y'all know all about Goliath.
Wow, you did it.
Which also his motivation seemed so stupid.
Government's like mommy and daddy. If we can't track our babies, how can we protect them?
Is that what this is about?
Not the humans, though. We're worried about the aliens. He's like, yes, haha, but it was me. And I am going to use it still. I'm evil. And then he denies access to the cube. And the cube is like, I'm locked out. And then his hacker son says, want to play a game? And he does, hell yeah. And his son gives him access again. You weren't the only one keeping an eye out, Dad. And he does, you clever little shit. I love you, boy.
You clever little shit. Love you, boy.
Ice Cube gets an update from Mark because Faith, she was dying before, but he duct taped her leg. And he says, our baby girl's doing fine. And it's just like a picture of him like... And then she's in the background smiling. Dave and Ice Cube come up with a plan to poison the data for the aliens, or poison the food, pretty much.
We gotta poison their food supply, okay?
And Dave says the government are bad hackers, and Dave's gonna go get his hacker pals to come and make a virus for it. The disruptors, they talk to Ice Cube and they're like, I'm not doing it unless he gives us immunity. So the Ice Cube literally highlights all of their names, right clicks and deletes, and says, done. That's as easy. That's it. Your files, no more. We get another time lapse, and Ice Cube created a video to call out Briggs, and he photoshopped his face on the disruptor image. How did he possibly have time to edit this video together? Also, this man is multifaceted. He's leading a government organization, he's an audio engineer, and he's a professional video editor and special, basically motion designer. He's pretty impressive. Ice Cube launches the virus to the aliens, but the aliens are hacking. The aliens hack them back. And then the other hacker's like, oh no, my data's being drained.
They're eating our data. My data's being drained.
They're gonna find Goliath.
It just, once again, you can tell that the people, whoever wrote this, they heard some buzzword in articles or maybe read something, but they have no idea what the fuck is going on. The disruptors get their IPs exposed, and basically they all just get blown up.
Get out of there!
Yeah. Oh, Starfire! And they all get blown up. Oh, Starfire! Ice Cube stands up and starts yelling after his son Dave gets vaporized. This is the second time that his son has supposedly died, and he stood up and had to be like, damn!
No! No!
He starts crying, but Dave calls him back, and he's like, oh, come on! And his son's like, damn, that was crazy.
That was freaking intense.
Did you, his reaction was so lackluster.
Well, it's weird because it's like Dave calls him, he picks up, call dropped, and then you're like, wait, what's going on? And then he picks up again, shows his room, and then he comes in, he's like, oh man,
yeah, come on,
my god, man.
And then Dave takes down a green screen, and he's been somewhere else, and then Ice Cube has a funny moment where he's like, they blew up my house, why didn't you route it to Brian's house or something? I don't have alien insurance.
They blew up my house, man. Why couldn't you run that signal through Brian's house so they can blow his shit up? I don't have alien invasion insurance.
Sandra from NASA calls. She has perfect makeup, besides a black smudge on her chin, and she's like, yeah, it's been crazy.
I mean, look, there's even DNA.
DNA? Oh my god.
Ice Cube calls Faith again and asks for the cannibal code that she was working on because Faith would know how to make that. Faith's like, my virus solution will work on these guys, but we need to put the formula on a hard drive.
Doesn't make sense.
Also, just because, what? Yeah, Faith asks, how will we do that? And Ice Cube says, I'll worry about that.
We upload it to Goliath.
How would we get it into Goliath?
I'll worry about that.
They keep showing tons of AI videos and shit. The US government wants to bomb the DHS building that Ice Cube is in. Pretty funny. He's like, oh damn, they're gonna blow me up.
Well, because the Goliath is underneath.
The Goliath, he's like, the Goliath's underneath me, but they're gonna blow up the Goliath building he's in. Ice Cube will inject the code himself, but it's a suicide mission. So he writes an email to his kids and he schedules it. So instead of just sending it now as if they're gonna have time to look at the email, he's like, all right, so I'll schedule it in I don't know, tomorrow. And he sends them a folder of keep them safe photos, and they're just like all like secure. It's like weird screenshots from surveillance videos.
Well, that was the weird thing. It seemed like it was all from that day.
Yeah, where I'm like, what does that mean? Keep them safe? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? The code is ready, but Ice Cube doesn't have a thumb drive, and everyone else comically has a thumb drive except him.
I don't have a thumb drive.
What do you mean you don't have a thumb drive?
So this is the solution. To get the thumb drive of code to destroy the aliens, Mark, the Amazon driver, is going to use a drone, which he dubs the future of delivery.
Prime Air.
Prime Air.
Oh, it's the future of delivery.
He's going to fly it to Ice Cube. The DHS building. That's the plan. And then he said something like, "Yeah, their training programs are really good.
They've been training us for months."
Like it's like it never badmouths Amazon. It's really good, and I'm you know I can make this thing fly like an eagle.
I fly like a bird. I can soar like an eagle with this thing.
Which is just a giant ad for Amazon because he even's like, you have to put in a shipment though.
I need you to place an official order on Amazon to activate the drone.
Nuts.
And they like show somebody selecting something and putting it in the cart, and it's like supposed to be subliminal marketing messaging to be like, oh, I should go on Amazon and buy something later. But I hope that they lost subscriptions off this.
I think people signed up to watch it.
They probably did because it's making some buzz. Ice Cube leaves and makes Sandra be in the command seat. He's just like, I'm gonna go.
Okay, I'm out.
Mark is flying the drone, and we get some shitty POV shots as he's flying. Mark's drone gets swatted by the tentacle of the tripod, and they tell a homeless guy in front of them to flip it. To entice the homeless man, they tell him that the government will give him free internet for a year and that he will get a free $1,000 Amazon gift card.
Wait, give him an Amazon gift card for $1,000.
To which the homeless man agrees and flips it, and Mark is back to flying the drone. The drone makes it to the building, and Ice Cube just keeps being like, I need that drone!
I need that drone!
Yeah, and then he's like, well, which way am I going? With his VR headset. Which way am I going? Hello, Mark, come on, I need that drone!
Where's that drone? Mark, I need it now!
So he gets the drone, he's able to plug it in. He's at the door, and he's like, oh, my key card doesn't work. Which every time he scans it, it's 4 stars. 4, like, boop, 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 boop. Right, 4 stars. Like, there's a 4-digit code. He's like, sweetheart, Faith, rewind the footage.
Hey, Faith, rewind the security footage. Try to find the code.
How do I do that?
And she's like, how do I do that? He's like, edit. Go to edit and time playback.
Go to file and click footage playback. See if you can find someone entering the server room.
And she's like, okay. And she just starts like doing it. And then she says, okay, I got the code.
111983.
I'm like, that's a 6-digit code.
Yeah, you definitely want to see him press 4 buttons.
And he presses 4 buttons and then walks inside to where there's like some shitty CG tentacles on the ground. And he immediately gets grabbed and he's like, ah.
No!
And then Dave's like, come on, Pops, you can do it.
Come on, man, you got this. Get up, Dad, get up.
He's on the ground and he's able to put the flash drive in, and he just says, I love you guys. And the cameras all black out. And then basically the code goes across and it kills all the aliens. And the bombers also pull away from the buildings. The bombers who are about to bomb the building, they're sitting there and it's like, it says 3 seconds left on the clock. Oh, would you know for a fact that they were like, with 1 second left, where they're like, oh, that'd be cheesy. Let's make it 3. And I'm like, if you were that close, that bomb would be dropped. If you are 3 seconds above in a bomber that's going what? How fast?
Hundreds of miles an hour.
500, 700 miles an hour. Ice Cube's dead. The building is blown up, is what I want to say.
Well, it's like, how do they know? Because they don't know what's going on in that building.
Yeah, we see the email that Ice Cube sent show up, but we get like an AI montage of like the world is healing. Briggs, who was like the evil white guy earlier, gets arrested. Sandra gets promoted to NASA leader. Faith is a master biologist. Dave is leading a rebellion, and then Ice Cube survived, and he gets a call from the Secretary of Defense, and the president wants to create a new surveillance program for America that doesn't invade people's privacy. Which is so funny.
He wants you to pioneer a new data collecting protocol that doesn't invade people's personal privacy.
And then he says, and then Ice Cube's like, nah, I'm tired of looking at Amazon orders. From now on, I'm watching you guys. And the guy's like, and he shuts it, and that's the end of the movie.
I'm done watching us. From now on, I'm watching you guys.
But the president...
And then literally there's a globe and it says War of the Worlds. When I tell you that this movie felt 4 hours long. It's kind of like a classic bit where it's like, you can't wait for the next morning. So you look at the clock, it says 2:16, and you can like go down and you're like tossing and turning forever. And you kind of like look back and it's 2:17. Oh, that kind of thing. It was that hell. It's honestly, it's made me appreciate Bret Michaels' Rock of Love. True entertainment that I can't wait to get back to. But it's been a long time since we've done like a movie video, and this one felt, it felt worth it.
We had to talk about it.
We had to talk about it. It's so bad, guys. So terrible. Maybe make a drinking game out of it. Every time Ice Cube says damn, if you want to die from alcohol poisoning, every time Ice Cube says damn in the movie, take a drink. Good luck. That's all I gotta say. We will see you in the next one, guys. For the love of God, be careful watching this film. Bye-bye.
Hey! I'm okay, I'm okay.
Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? Come in and sit on down, because today we're gonna dive deep into the dangers of Airbnbs. Summer is the perfect time to take a relaxing vacation with some friends and family. This house looks nice. No longer do people go to hotels. Now you get to be in someone's home. I don't live there, but you can stay there if you want. It's pretty much Airbnbs. It's always weird. I went to an Airbnb one time and they still had like pictures of their family up. Well, I remember I messaged and said, am I in the right house? Because I thought, I was like, did I actually break into the house? Because also, usually when you go to an Airbnb, they have the padlock. Hey, let me know, whatever. I just walk right in. So I was like, hey, is this you? They're like, yep, that's me and my kids. I was like, had on the nightstand too by the bed. I like turned around, like put it down. I was like, I don't want you looking at me while I'm sleeping.
Was the whole house just covered head to toe?
Oh yeah. It was, I was like, almost like, I think that they were just gone for the weekend. They're like, just put the house up for the...
I see.
Maybe you want to take a trip to Cabo or the Cayman Islands, or maybe just a trip to Disneyland. Wherever you're going, you're gonna need to find a place to stay. Hotels used to be your only option, but over the years, prices have gone through the roof. But thankfully, there's an alternative. Airbnb. Airbnbs offer more convenient, maybe more reliable places to stay for your vacations. From Shrek Swamp to a refurbished missile silo, Airbnb offers unique experiences that will enhance your vacation. Please, Daddy, can we stay there? Please. We're staying in the missile silo. You'll like it. However, not everything is created equal, because Airbnb operates in a very gray area. Dangerous and disgusting circumstances can still arise, from satanic rituals to gangs thrashing homes to even police standoffs inside the Airbnb. It makes you think Airbnbs are not as safe as you think. So, get ready to book your next vacation as we explore the horrors of Airbnb, starting with bad host, which if you've ever gone on Airbnb, there's things that make your stay look more optimal, like, oh, this is like guest favorite. They'll market that if it's been rented a bunch of times. Or there's a thing called super host, which I still don't really know what that means. I think it just means people, it's like a very high rated host, very responsive, all that kind of stuff. So a bad host would be whoever you're staying with, not a good guy, not a good woman. And I think that, to be fair, the hosts of these Airbnbs, if I can be so bold, they can be dicks sometimes. Remember that one time we were in Texas and we stayed at the Airbnb? That bitch left me a 1 star because I left a candle. There was like a little bit of candle wax on the counter. She's like, you ruined the countertops. I was like, it's 1 candle. It was like this much. Well, it doesn't matter. Every hotel has a list of basic rules that you're expected to follow as you stay in the hotel. Airbnb has similar expectations as well. Like, you have to take out the trash, throw the sheets in the washer, don't light candles on the wood furniture. I want to go and burn that fucking place down, dude. Also, too, that's another thing I hate with Airbnb. You know what I like about hotels? I don't give a fuck. The only thing I don't like, they tuck the sheets under the bed.
Yeah, I hate that too.
Don't like that. Here's another thing. If I'm staying at your Airbnb, you come over and take out the fucking trash, dude. If it's an excessive amount, don't get me wrong, you can be like, well, I mean, look at what we did. Come on.
They got mad at us too for leaving 1 trash
bag.
bag.
We DoorDash McDonald's. There was 1 bag of McDonald's in there. And they're like, you didn't even take out the trash. And there's candle wax all over the place. I'm like, why don't you calm the fuck down, Sarah? I'm not gonna say we're out in Texas, but you know who you are, you dirty bitch. I'm gonna go back with a box of matches and I'm lighting that motherfucker up, dude. Fuck her. But some hosts go overboard. After booking an Airbnb, a guest was surprised to see a long list of additional rules that were hidden on the booking page, because if you also notice, you have to scroll all the way down and there's like, it's hidden in the fine print. That's how they use like text descriptions and shit. It's like a YouTube description box. Some of the rules included you can't stay in the room during the day, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. That's your allotted time. Otherwise, you can't stay in it during the 9 p.m. to 5 p.m. You cannot be in the room. Guests are not allowed to shave in the bathroom sink and will be fined $175 for doing so. I can kind of be on board with that one.
Clogs it up.
I was gonna be like, don't be shaving your dick hair, pussy hair, your beard at my place, dude. Why don't you groom yourself before you show up?
No, I think you can shave.
You think that if you sit there, you're like,
Yeah.
shaving down there?
I would rather go to a hotel.
To be fair, it's your, well, yeah, the hotel ain't complaining. People coming in with like a dustbin and like a deal. Sweeping up and looking in the sink. Oh. Rolling up some toilet paper and like wiping the inner sink. Or if you leave the fridge open, it results in a $50 fine. Leaving the ceiling fan or bathroom fan on is a $50 fine as well. And guests are expected to maintain a 6-foot distance from all people in the household at all times. This had to have been a COVID thing, right? If other people are staying in the home, you are not allowed to talk or engage with them in any way. You can't talk to the host unless it's an absolute emergency. Which also, it's like, what do you mean I can't talk? Shocked by how absurd some of these rules were, the guests tried to ask if the rules were negotiable. However, the host freaked out and contacted Airbnb support, claiming she was being blackmailed. Help! Help! The rats are in my house, are in my walls. Makes me think that she's in the house somewhere. She has that thing where it's like a painting and it's like the eye shift that comes down. She's like...
She's probably hiding in the toilet.
Face underneath like that. No number twos. Airbnb would support the host and tell the guest to stop messaging the host or face legal consequences. As a result, the reservation was canceled without a refund and the guest lost $1,300. Nick, I'm telling you, box of matches, the place is burning down.
Yeah, a little accident. Whoopsie.
I don't know how the match got struck and your house got lit on fire. I don't know. There was a lot of paint thinner in the garage. I think that's why it caused that explosion.
Great! We want to thank today's sponsor, GamerSubs, our longest, most beautiful sponsors on this channel.
You can go to gamersubs.gg and get our own flavor, raw meat. That's right, baby. It's one of the best. I'm going to say it's the best right now, and I think I need you to try it right now. It's keto-friendly, sugar-free, and there's non-caffeinated options if you have a little quail heart and it's too much for you. But also, GamerSubs right now has carbonated energy drinks. Move over, Red Bull. There's a new sheriff in town. They got all kinds of flavors right now, guys. And let me tell you, if raw meat keeps going the way it is, they're wanting to put that little bitch in a can and sell it as well. So be sure to check out my flavor, raw meat. And also, if you're unironically just wanting like a carbonated energy drink or more of the shaken energy drinks type stuff, GamerSubs is the way to go. It's fucking awesome. It is a very, very nice product. So thank you so much to GamerSubs for continuously sponsoring these channels. And hey, go check them out. You can get free samples. If you like big anime titty cups, they do tons of drops of different creators. It's just a nice thing for if you're a fan of online content and if you're needing a little extra energy boost. So thank you so much for GamerSubs for sponsoring this video, and back to the video. While some hosts want nothing to do with their guests, some become obsessed with every guest that stays. Jay Alley was a super host running a rural vacation spot out in Comfort, Texas. He had received thousands of positive reviews from guests who had stayed and were constantly booked. He was a popular man on Airbnb. Super host. However, his reputation went down the drain after some guests made a sickening discovery. As soon as the couple arrived, Jay said, "Be comfortable. We don't care if you're in your PJs or nude."
Host.
No, seriously, spread out. Look at that big old bed. It's pleather. Already creeped out, the couple began to look around inside the property and noticed a padlocked door that had been made to blend into the wall. I don't like that already. Can you imagine seeing a padlocked wall? Like wallpaper, whatever. Is that a padlock on the wall? You just hear, like, and behind the wall, you're like, oh, like scuttling behind the wall. Oh my God. In addition to the hidden door, one of the renters discovered that a plug-in adapter had a secret hidden camera. The couple quickly left the Airbnb and contacted the police. Following a thorough investigation, police discovered additional hidden cameras and confiscated multiple iPhones and laptops. On those devices were over 2,000 photos of all previous guests. Pictures of people undressing, having sex, and just staying in the home were all found on these hard drives. And worst of all, there were numerous pictures of children who were staying with their parents. That's definitely a dude who's just like, diaper change time, that kind of shit. Sick fuck. At the time of his arrest, Jay faced 15 charges of invasive visual recording, and he would take a plea deal that resulted in 9 of the charges being dropped. He would only serve 1 year in prison, which I do think lock him up, dude. The biggest thing I'm afraid of is that I go and I'm being recorded in the place I'm staying.
I used to have a fear as a child that there was cameras in the lights, so whenever I was pooping...
You're a smart child. You're a smart child because I didn't know about this until like way later. So like I'd be like out and about, whatever, spread on the bed, jacking off, doing whatever, taking like crazy shits and all that. Now when I'm in the bathroom, I'll like I cover outlets. I do all kinds of stuff. Sometimes you ever see an outlet where you're like, why is that there? These weren't the only guests to experience a nightmare stay. Another unsettling Airbnb encounters. A couple checked into their LA Airbnb looking forward to their vacation. At first, the host seemed hospitable, leaving them a little bottle of wine and a nice note telling them to enjoy their stay. And after going to bed, the couple was awoken by a man screaming and banging on the front door of the house, looking for someone named Kevin. Kevin! Kevin! That would be fucking scary that would be. They frantically contacted their landlord, who simply replied, yeah, that was me, sorry about the confusion. Life's too short for me not to give you an explanation. Hold on. This quote is insane. He said, yeah, that was me. Sorry about the confusion. Life's too short for me to give you an explanation. Have a nice time in LA. That's the end of the quote. Quote end, which also I'd be like, we're leaving. I like how they're just like, all right, let's go back to bed. Like, what? The next night, they went to bed after a beach day when a hooded man jumped through their window and laid spread eagle on the floor. The man, whose name's Che, got up and pinned the man to the ground and revealed that it was once again their host. The police were called and arrived via helicopter to take the man away. The police arrived in a helicopter?
Maybe they're on a beach or like on a mountain.
Yeah, maybe. I was thinking he was doing like snow angels on the ground. Kevin! He's not here! I'm Che! Kevin! Apparently, the host was renting the place without his landlord's knowledge. When questioned, the man stated that he was attempting to remove the couple due to disputes over cleaning fees. Does any of that make sense?
No.
Airbnb agreed to cover the cost of the booking and paid an additional $2,500 for their therapy sessions. My God, honestly, the more that we talk about in this video, the more I'm just like, Holiday Inn is fine. Holiday Inn is perfectly fine. I've never had any, well, to be fair, let me tell you, we'll do a motel horror story too. Airbnb, there's just something about Airbnb that just is a little.
Well, it's someone's home.
I think that's the uncanny nature of it. Is it because I feel like I already shouldn't be here? That's like walking to an Airbnb, like, oh, it's a nice house. It almost feels like it's like if you got to tour a home that you were wanting to buy, and you just decided to stay the weekend. Why don't we just feel it out? That kind of thing. But it's just like it's still someone's living there. See, it's just uncanny. Too uncanny. I don't like it. And as horrifying as that incident was, it wasn't the only time guests faced violence from their host. In another shocking case, a woman's stay ended with her being brutally assaulted. In 2017, Sabal Nukumbi.
Sabalba.
In 2017, a woman and a few friends traveled from South Africa to Amsterdam to attend a friend's art expedition and review their work. How kind. At the end of their trip, the group was slow to pack up and leave the Airbnb. The host had messaged them multiple times to leave, but they were still packing. Now, damn, he's like really rushing them out. Get out of my house. Is that an Amsterdam accent? Get out of my house. I want you gone. Where's Amsterdam at?
It's like
Dutch?
Yeah, it's like Dutch. Get out of my house.
Get out of my house. I'm also at our house. Get out of my house. Right as the woman and her friends were leaving, the host's husband showed up and got physical. He began grabbing them and shoving them out the door, telling them it's time to leave. It's time to leave.
It's Indian.
That's Indian. Okay. While they were being forcibly removed, the husband began making racist remarks, referring to the guest as "you people," and telling them that this was not Africa. God damn. How many? Well, I guess there's some. I wonder how many hours was it?
I'm thinking it's like 10 minutes.
Yeah, in my mind, it was like an hour where they're like, "Well, sorry, we're running late." In any regard, to show up and just be like, "Get the hell out of my house!" I can't do a Dutch thing. It's going to Indian. The guys tried to tell them that they were leaving, but that wasn't enough. Things escalated when the husband grabbed her and threw her headfirst down the stairs. Once she was at the bottom, he threw her belongings down after her. God damn! Good fucking Lord! And there's the footage. Wait, there's footage of her actually being thrown?
Out. Oh my God. Out. That's it. Out now. Oh my God. No.
Out. Out now. That seemed a bit fucking excessive if you ask me. Good fucking Lord. Which, of course, after falling that hard down the stairs, she was knocked unconscious and taken to the hospital. When she woke up, she had a severe concussion and multiple bruises from the fall. Airbnb issued a statement saying that they were appalled by what happened and banned the couple from hosting again. The husband faced legal charges, but they were never publicly stated. I like how it's a company, all you have to do is just be like, oh, okay, wow. That was weird, right, guys? Can we all agree that was weird? Let's just take a second to just let that sink in. Luckily, that host can no longer rent out their house, so problem solved. Thanks, guys, so much. It's like the amount of people that probably like Superhost getting like physically actually assaulting their guests. That's gotta be a lot.
You think the Superhosts are doing it?
Maybe not the Superhost. I think that was a rare instance of a Superhost getting upset. Hosts aren't always easy to deal with, but guests can be just as bad, if not worse. It's time we look closer at some of the stories about horrible Airbnb guests. I think that Airbnb brings out the worst in people.
Why do you think that?
I think it's because you get too comfortable. The lack of amenities in a Holiday Inn room, it feels like a prison cell. You don't even want to be there, right? But an Airbnb, when it's like, oh, look at this bed. Oh, like rolled around it and stuff with it. Oh my God. Rolled around that. You're like on the couch, you're lounging around, you're watching TV. You feel like you're home. Yeah. It's too much. That's where I think that's the delineation, right? Those who live next to Airbnbs already have to deal with a lot of loud guests. And in 2016, Airbnb launched Airbnb Experiences, which allowed people to rent properties specifically for parties. What a fucking nightmare. However, the company had not planned for a residential apartment to be converted into a nightclub. In the UK, a one-bedroom flat was converted into a full-on nightclub with professional lights and speakers. Neighbors quickly complained of the noise as over 200 people packed into the small one-bedroom apartment venue. And not only did it feature a professional DJ, but it also had bouncers standing outside to ticket guests as they arrived. And even with professional equipment, neighbors claimed, quote, "It was horrible music," with one person even saying, "I've got a pretty good sound system in my house, and it was better than that." Priorities from the Brits. I mean, if you're going to be two-stepping upstairs to some house music, you might as well get a good bloody well fucking system on it, eh?
I like how, yeah, that's what they're complaining about. It sounds horrible.
I'm not saying I'm an audiophile or anything, but I just mean that's bloody well rubbish coming out of there, huh? Police were called, but didn't shut it down until 6 a.m. because they feared people would get hurt exiting the packed apartment. That's a great way. Sardine yourselves in there. They can't. He's like, oh, well, we might as well just wait till the morning. When the sun's up, they'll be able to get down a lot easier. Yeah. And this is just one example of the many parties that got out of hand, eventually leading Airbnb to outright ban parties in 2022 and shut down the experience program in 2024, which no shit. Also, how selfish could you be? Yeah, hey, Todd. Hey, so we're running the Airbnb experience program, so there's going to be a lot of people partying over here. I don't like that at all. As the neighbor, I don't like that. I actually live in this house. It's not just a rental property. Okay, Todd, that's great, but I'm still gonna run the experience program. Okay, buddy, thank you so much. While some Airbnb rentals get turned into wild party venues, others are misused in far more unsettling ways. For example, people checked into a UK apartment and wanted to pay for their stay in cash, which is against Airbnb's policy. Despite this, the owners still let them in and they got to enjoy their stay. When it came time for them to leave, they asked for a little extra time because they had a heavy night. The owner allowed it, but was caught off guard by the name of the person messaging them. Google showed that they were two high-profile prostitutes who charged $1,776 USD a night. That's pretty cute, right?
I just got it.
So no, you want to come over here? You want to come over here and hit me, Minge? It's a little tea party. Enraged, he showed up to the apartment and found that it smelled of expensive perfume. Deeper in, he found 8 open wine bottles and condom wrappers everywhere. Each garbage can was filled to the brim with used condoms and paper towels, and the owner had to pick them all up by hand. That's his choice. He could have. I would buy some tongs, bro. Okay, Paul. All right. My hands are. Realizing that his home had been turned into a brothel, he called the police to investigate, but no arrests were ever made. Police only made a public notice warning other Airbnb hosts in the area to be aware of the guest and report them if they were ever found. Which also, what the fuck do you expect, man? Yeah, no credit cards. Well, I'm sure that's fine. I'll take the cash. I wonder what the British call that. Like a brothel? They call that old slip and slide, huh?
I like the tea party.
It's a tea party. Come on in here and eat this minge.
Because you get to soak your tea bag.
Open up her legs like that and take your balls and just dip them into the hole. He's like, what do you think he did? Like starts pissing and shitting everywhere. The UK is a beautiful place, is it not? All bad hosts eventually get what they deserve, but not all hosts are bad. Many rely on their rentals for their income and need the income to survive. Across the pond in the UK, a Harry Potter themed getaway had been ransacked after 2 guests checked out. When the host's brother opened the door to begin the repairs, he was shocked to see the condition of the flat. All of the coffee mugs and glass cups had been smashed in the kitchen. Furniture had been damaged and all curtains had been torn from the walls. Throughout the apartment, there were coffee stains on the walls, trash cans, and even on the mattresses.
Do you know that's coffee? That looks
a little like poopy. I was gonna say they like captured like a little person and dressed him up as Dobby. Dobby wants to leave.
And this is him trying to get out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Dobby was trapped. In the year that it had operated, the Airbnb had all positive reviews with numerous families drawn to the theme. After everything had been cleaned, the cost of repairing and placing the items the guests had destroyed was $6,000. Or 2 magic wands. Huh? If I'm going to an Airbnb that's Harry Potter themed, put a Dobby in there.
Oh, you know it'd be good if a little butler came out dressed as Dobby. Hello.
But I don't, no. Not even a butler. I just want him to be, you don't know where he's at, but at some point, Master.
Is he standing over you with a pillow?
Master must love Dobby forever. Dobby wants Master inside him.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I just want to have gay sex with a guy dressed up as Dobby. You can finish inside Dobby. Well, okay, Dobby. If that's what you want. Just don't go back to Hogwarts. I won't, Dobby. I won't.
Is Allison sleeping next to you?
My wife and kids are in the other room. I'm like... Another host shared that they had a similar incident with body fluids in their Airbnb. As soon as the guests arrived, they began causing trouble. They had shown up 8 hours earlier than they were supposed to and brought their newborn baby, which the host said they couldn't have, which also it's like, well, what do you want me to do?
Oh yeah, that's weird. No, you can't bring the newborn.
It's like, it's not a fucking Rottweiler. It's our baby. Yeah, but you should just I wouldn't even just bring him. When it came time to go inside and clean, the host was greeted with a disgusting scene. Large patches of infant poop was caked into white carpet everywhere in the unit. Okay.
Yeah.
This is the one time. Yeah, usually people who have babies aren't just throwing the shit on the floor and caking it in. Oh, white carpet, huh? In the bedroom, there were puddles of breast milk sitting on top of the comforter. They had also pissed in the shower and didn't wash it down. Love the clarification there. Yeah, they pissed in the shower, but they just let it pool. Following the incident, the owner made a claim to Airbnb to cover the cost of the cleaning. We're making a public commercial that you can go and just like piss and shit and put shit like on the carpet and put breast milk, and all you have to do is like you might just pay damages. That's it. That's the extent. And drugs are common at shitty motels but can also be found in local Airbnbs. Daniel and Jocelyn Madrano were excited to receive an 11-day booking at their home that would pay for their upcoming trip to Florida. It's a nice little thing. They're like, well, there you go, finally. The man who booked the home showed up late and immediately began to act strangely. Daniel and Jocelyn watched on the security cameras as more people showed up with fans, tarps, pots, and random powders. They tried to contact their guests, but were ignored. Shortly after their guests arrived, the police were called. Investigators had tracked down 3 men in their car and had canines search their vehicles. And inside the car was pounds of meth, and all the men were arrested. A little fairy tale. Back at the house, it was discovered that they had set up a massive meth lab, producing over 100 pounds of meth in less than a week. They cooked in the kitchen and dried the meth in both the master bedroom and the Madrano's daughter's bedroom. The state of the home was unlivable as the chemical processes had stained all the walls and made the home smell of ammonia. Meth crystals had gotten cooked into the carpets all throughout the home, and altogether, the cost to repair the home came to about $26,000. All 3 men who were arrested face first and second degree felonies and have a $500,000 bond, and all are still awaiting sentencing. Just whatever you do, you can piss, you can do whatever, just no drugs. That's where it draws the line.
What's a hazard?
It's a hazard. And that's the only thing that can get you jail time, apparently. Yeah, you can shit, put breast milk, whatever, but God forbid you cook a little meth, and that's where we go wrong. Millions of items go missing or are forgotten at Airbnbs every year. From phones to toothbrushes to random socks, these items are pretty tame in comparison to what a group of renters discovered at their French Airbnb. A group of 20-year-olds rented a 7-bedroom house roughly 10 miles south of Paris. As they explored the massive home, they went outside and walked around the garden and made a grisly discovery. Slumped over in a small dugout hole was a rotted corpse of a 30 to 50-year-old woman. God damn, she must have been decaying to not know how old she was. She was in the very back of the garden, concealed by branches and stumps. She was fully clothed, but didn't have any shoes, and she wore a large diamond ring on one of her fingers. The cause of her death was impossible to determine because she had sat there for so long that she nearly decomposed. Based on all the available evidence, police believed that foul play was involved, and after the body was removed, investigators questioned the group of renters and they canceled the reservation shortly thereafter. God, dude. Can you imagine? Well, also, too, the property must have been so massive that all the people that had been staying there for so long never actually ventured through the garden. So who knows? Think about like the landscapers. Word. Maybe it was just like the fall season, because I know in some places where it's like, oh, in the fall into like winter, obviously there's not a lot of landscaping because stuff's not growing as much or whatever. It's more of a spring, but still, I don't know. People book Airbnbs for a wide variety of reasons, including birthdays, vacations, and business trips, but most guests check out after they finish their celebrations. However, 2 guests check in, but never check out. On the island of Cephalonia, 2 guests performed a satanic ritual that involved taking their own lives. Lilia and her 30-year-old German boyfriend arrived at an Airbnb in a vehicle with fake plates and locked themselves inside. They arrived 24 hours before the first full moon of the year, which was necessary for them to perform their satanic ritual. When the full moon rose, Lilia lay in a bathtub and cut herself, resulting in fatal wounds. As she bled out, her boyfriend sat next to her and watched her until she died. When she was gone, he took a knife and stabbed himself in the heart, ending the ritual, and the 2 bodies were discovered the next day by the owner and reported it to the police. Outside of the bathroom, they had drawn all sorts of symbols and placed dark objects around a pentagram. In showing investigators it was all for a satanic ritual. Lilia was an international student from Bulgaria, studying in Germany. She had been missing since June and was being sought by Interpol. So who knows? Do you think they got to meet the devil?
I think so.
How do we know that night when that happened, that a demon didn't just be like, you did this correctly, come with me now to hell?
That's why he stabbed himself. This is awesome.
If you're a Satanist, is hell cool? Is hell rule? I thought like Satanistic shit was just being like, you basically worship yourself. Well, let me just say, for the people who are like, let's kill ourselves and we'll enact this ritual. What's the end goal?
Go to hell.
So you want to go to hell?
Yeah, be Satan's.
Or you offer yourself and you're like, I get to become a demon if I do. But even why would you want to think about it? Even demons want to get to hell. They want to get out of hell. And everything I've ever read, they're like, yeah, they get out of hell and they just like fuck with people and they're like, fuck, I have to go back, and then go back. Well, I'm just saying, maybe instead of killing yourself, maybe just go to Cabo. I can tell you right now, you get on some jet skis in Cabo, you're gonna be forgetting about the devil, dude. I'm just saying that right now. Now listen, guys, the next time you're thinking of going on vacation, make sure to weigh your options and choose where you stay carefully. Behind the beautiful photos might be a host with too many rules or even killer roommates. You never know what you're gonna get, which could be anywhere, but let me tell you, Airbnb has some weird shit. Vacations are supposed to be fun, but if your accommodations are bad, then it ruins the entire trip. Just be safe when you're going out there, and if you're using Airbnb, be safe out there. We will see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? Come in and sit on down, because today we're talking about GameStop. Nowadays, if you want to play a game, chances are you're only seconds away from being able to purchase and start playing immediately. But back in the day, however, most people had no choice but to buy physical copies of games that they wanted, usually from various stores. Even before online, you had to go outside, go to a store. It's horrible.
Or buy it through the mail and wait 6 months.
Yeah, you could use Gamefly. Is that still a thing? Is Gamefly still? There's no way Gamefly is still a thing, right? Among the variety of video game retailers, the most well-known was undoubtedly GameStop. For a time, it was the biggest video game retailer in the world. But over time, what used to be a cornerstone of gaming culture has slowly faded out of relevance due to the rise of online marketplaces. But it's not like GameStop was infallible before the eventual decline. In fact, throughout the retailer's long history, there have been many reasons to criticize the company for how it's run. So today, we're gonna talk about why the GameStop is so terrible. This video is sponsored by B&B Theaters. Summertime means going to the movies. So why don't you go to the 5th largest theater chain in America? Number 5. We have a theater close by the studio where we get to see all of our major releases and summer blockbusters. With 58 locations over the US, you're bound to be by a B&B theater. Plus, B&B has many ways to watch, including the grand screen, the company's own premium large format. As the name suggests, this is the theater's largest screen in the building and features cutting-edge sound and projection, creating a first-class experience. If action is what you're seeking, watch a film at B&B and MX4D. MX4D creates a totally immersive environment where you can feel the film in your seat and the theater around you with a built-in motion and sound and visual effects. We saw Mad Max in it. It was fucking awesome. And if you need more screen, try B&B's Screen X. This multi-projection 270-degree viewing experience lets you take in large landscapes
maps and exciting scenes to their fullest. I also saw Mad Max on that one, and it was awesome! This unique viewing cannot be achieved at home, which is why you need to see Jurassic World Rebirth at B&B Theaters. Make sure you grab a friend, get some popcorn, and head to B&B and watch Scarlett Johansson run around with some dinosaurs on the largest screen you possibly can! Thank you so much to B&B Theaters for sponsoring this video. I've been going to B&B since I was a wee little lad, so it's cool that they sponsored this video. Please, if you're buy one, go support them because they supported this video. Yeah, let's get back to the video.
But first, we have to talk about how GameStop began. Babbage's was a humble software retailer founded in 1984 by David R. Carlson in Dallas, Texas. The store was very popular, and they eventually began selling video games and other forms of entertainment software. And after merging with the retailer Software Etc. and facing financial trouble, it was bought by Leonard Riaggio, a major stockholder of Barnes & Noble, in 2000. The company bought another rival chain, Funko, and rebranded itself as GameStop. Hello?
Hey, Hunter, this is Dr. Mitchell. I'm afraid I have some bad news regarding
By 2005, they had become a massive company to the point that they were able to successfully merge with their largest competitor, EB Games, in a $1.44 billion deal. This led them to become the biggest gaming retailer at the time. And GameStop has become the leading spot to not only purchase games and consoles, but also trade in used games to make some of their money back. This is something that everyone nowadays seems to have the biggest gripe with. So, firstly, I want to talk about GameStop's terrible, terrible trade-in policy.
This is how they make most of their money.
This is how GameStop, if you're wondering, how are they still open? It's this. Okay, this is it. The trade-in policy, that's how the lights are fucking staying on. People bring in their used games in order to receive either in-store credit or cash. That being said, the GameStop trade-in values for games are known to be laughably low and have been memed into oblivion on the internet for, decades. Probably since they fucking opened. Probably since GameStop was even a name. People were like, you're gonna trade in there? Really? Are you sure? Part of what's insulting about this, however, is that trading games were marked up for far more before being put back on shelf to sell to other customers. So they would sell it in and then they're gonna mark it up hundreds of percentile, right?
Yeah, $7 game and they put it up for 60 bucks.
And then some hapless son of a bitch is gonna come in and buy it off the shelf and they're just like, oh, that's rent, baby. We're getting rent, hand over fist. Even recently, someone made a post about how they went to a GameStop to trade in nearly a complete collection of amiibos because he no longer had the space for them in a new college apartment, also their amiibos. A set that could easily be worth thousands of dollars was traded in for $1,300. When I say thousands, I mean $5,000, $6,000. They gave him $1,300. And this sent the internet into an uproar over how badly he was lowballed, which at the same time, you have to ask yourself, my God, find someone else to buy it. Which, to be fair, people usually are in these positions where they're just like, I just don't care. I want it out. I want it gone. I don't want to have to go through the whole process of selling them one by one. But I think in today's reseller economy, I think that you could sell that, even being like $2,500.
Yeah.
Give me half. I feel like there are other options.
He could have definitely been like nearly complete set on eBay, buy it all in one.
Buy it all in one or make best offer, whatever,
Yeah.
and handle it that way.
Exactly.
It is what it is. It is what it is. Of course, the employees are just doing as they're told at GameStop, so you can't put it all on them. But in fact, it seems that a ton of GameStop employees hate the process of trade-ins because it invites some particularly odd encounters, aka people who are emotionally not well, people who also steal things to resell them. Like the amount of times that I worked, when I worked at my, the place that I worked at in Kansas City, the amount of times that it was just like clearly things stolen from Walmart, and you're like, I don't think I can take this. They're like, what do you mean? It's like, it's 18 sealed copies of Grand Theft Auto 5. I just can't. I cannot do it. Here's a list of weird occurrences employees have witnessed trying to process trade-ins with customers. 1. A man came in with his wife to trade in his copy of Dishonored, only to find his secret porn stash inside of it. That's just a good day to me. Ironic substance to be found in a game called Dishonored. One employee was given a PS2 with a condom stuffed in the hard drive slot, and he was also given PS3 games that the customer admitted were used as weed ashtrays. Another employee inspected a PS4 and opened it to find that it was overflowing with cockroaches.
That's very common.
That's gotta be super common. And according to one ex-employee, he had seen used syringes, dead centipedes, and used condoms. He's like, it was a crazy weekend. A customer came in to sell 50 DS games, each of which were fake, and someone brought in a box for a controller filled with rocks. He assured them that was what was in the box when he bought it, and the store leader somehow decided to pay him out. What? And one man tried to ask if they would take in some appliances like his washing machine. And a strange customer who seemed to be tweaking came in with a stolen coffee maker and told the employee, quote, I know y'all take video games, but what about coffee makers to make some coffee for your gaming sessions?
That's a good sales pitch.
He's just like, hello? You boys like to stay up all night and game with your Nancy's. And in a more sad turn of events, because we have to do it to you, a man was trading in his old Xbox 360 while the employee worked on wiping his hard drive. They discussed his Xbox achievements. The man suddenly got sentimental and decided he no longer wanted to trade it in, but it was too late. Everything was wiped and left sad. Which I love the idea of a guy just be like, you know what, never mind. The guy's like, oh, oops. Which also, by that point, I'm like, why don't you, it's done. It is kind of fucked up mentally, though. So, are you sure? I'm deleting all this memories? That's it? That's all you want? Okay. It's like already deleting. Yeah. It's kind of fucked up.
Sitting there thinking about it. Well, you know.
Oh, shit. Actually, you know what? I guess this isn't worth the $13 you're giving me for my system. And lastly, a former employee reveals that someone tried to trade in the belt she was wearing to keep her pants up. I don't know why the belt you would do that, but that's just some of the things. And also, you know, when people trade stuff in, the amount of like, dude, dusty, gross, grimy, and like you said, cockroaches, or the amount of shit that you see traded in that's just like reeks of cigarette smoke. Ugh.
Yeah.
Brutal. And people have always chastised GameStop for its horrible trade-in value and inability to care for the customers. So let's talk about when GameStop was at its absolute worst with the Circle of Life program. In order to maximize profits, to understand why it was implemented, here's GameStop's ideal customer cycle. 1. Customer pre-orders game by paying a deposit. You gotta put money down. 2. Customer uses their trade-in program to get money back after completing the game for way less than the actual value. 3. Customers ask for store credit instead of lower return cash option, then uses it to buy another game. 4. The now marked up used game is put back on the shelf to repeat the process with someone else. You like that? Do you feel good about how that's the circle of life? And then 5, you die. You're dead. There it is. That's my life. Each employee has something referred to as Cole score, based on things like used game sales, pre-orders, trade-ins, and because used games have higher profit margin, it was aggressively pushed to employees as the priority over selling brand new games.
Yeah, have you seen that? They'd be like, Grand Theft Auto would be like $60, but like, you get the used version for 50.
Are you sure you just don't want to get the one that somebody has already opened and touched and fondled with? $10 cheaper. Come on. Cole score. He has like a fucking like marker on his arm. He's like, my Cole score's low. To avoid having a low score that threatened their job, GameStop employees were pressured to lie to their customers about the stock of new games and consoles. One employee admits that a launch day for a brand new game could literally screw him over for the entire week because he would then have to sell way more pre-owned games to keep his score up. So it's like, yeah, you might have sold a shit ton of new games, but GameStop's gonna be like, why aren't the used games selling? Yeah, I think I might get fired. It's a fun working condition. Employees essentially became the gaming version of a sleazy used car salesman. It would be pushy and endlessly talk up their pre-owned titles and sometimes not even mention the price until the last possible second. And another employee states that this system would put the store in constant state of crisis, stating, quote, 1 week, we desperately needed trades. The next few weeks, we need to focus on pre-owned. Then, because we focused on trades and pre-owned, we didn't get pre-orders. Some claim that the entire stores were fired over the Cole system, while others state that these were simply edge cases. But regardless, after enough pushback, GameStop's made changes on how to run their stores. They removed the Cole scores for individual employees and made it so the entire store just had one score to work on. Today, it's not clear if they still utilize a system similar to the Cycle of Life, but I'm sure there's some GameStop employees watching this right now, and if it is, please tell me. I'd like to know. How does it feel working in hell? Do you like hell? You think there's probably just GameStop lifers, right? I've been here since I was 18.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
there's like 6-year-olds now that have been working there since the beginning.
2005. How old were they when they started? Hasn't GameStop only been around since like 2000? So I guess he was in his 40s. 35. All right, there you go. Either way, GameStop still upholds a reputation for treating their customers poorly. So let's talk about a little recent example that just happened. The Switch 2 controversy. Multiple GameStop customers have been reporting that their Nintendo Switch 2 pre-orders were being canceled. This has been happening to random people over the past few months, but started to heavily ramp up in late May, with only days left until the release of the console. It gets worse for one specific GameStop location location in Astoria, as they were revealed to be pushing customers to spend way more than they intended. After people wait all night to get their consoles pre-ordered, they were supposedly told that the SKU number can't be processed for just a console. They used this to push people to splurge on more expensive bundles and accessories. And one customer secretly filmed himself throughout the entire process, spending hundreds of dollars to lock in his pre-order.
So what's the minimum you have to, is it a price you have to hit, or is
It's
it?
item quantity.
Okay, so I'll do the 1 terabyte micro SD. And then I'll do Is this like at every GameStop that they're doing this, or is it just a specific
I
one?
don't really speak for this one. I'm pretty sure it's an all-around GameStop.
Okay, interesting.
Jesus.
After the post went viral, GameStop responded on Twitter by saying they were actively investigating the store and offering pre-orders to anyone who were turned away. Despite them trying to make things right, it further showcases the pressure put on GameStop stores specifically to hit their quotas, even if it means massively fucking over their customers, you know, just by being like, we gotta sell controllers. If we don't sell controllers, I want to know who's the guy where it's like, you don't want Bob to come down. Like corporate, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God, Bob's coming this week, and he's like, there's a lot of controllers in the back room. This place is shut down permanently. I've been working here since I was 35. I'm 60 now. He's like, that math adds up. By now, it should be clear that working for GameStop can be a bit of a fucking nightmare. So let's talk about why people hate working at GameStop. Many people think GameStop is a great first job, right? Because they can make money in an environment they're passionate about. I love video games. I want to work at GameStop, right?
Kind of reminds me of like those commercials of people doing the tester games. I'm having so much fun testing video games.
Yeah, it's so fun playing this game.
I can't believe we got jobs doing this. I know. And my mom said I would never get anywhere with these games.
Those that go to the massive r/GameStop subreddit to ask if it's a good idea to put an application to work there are bombarded with current or ex-employees desperately trying to chase them away. Run while you still can. I mean, one response reads, you can run. Work anywhere else. You think you want to work here, but you don't. Find a local retro game store to apply to instead. This is not a video game job. It's a sales job with zero benefits or incentives that happens to involve video games. Sometimes. Another person explains,
GameStop is not a relaxed work experience at all. Full stop. If you're not good at pushing memberships, warranties, and game protection, they will threaten your job until you get stuff by any means necessary. During interactions with customers, you are constantly trying to sell them on pre-orders, warranties, used games, add-ons, or accessories, and pro memberships, which is essentially a GameStop reward program that provides benefits for a yearly fee. Because of this, employees' interactions become a meme due to how obnoxious they are. There are many stories of employees being treated so terribly that they eventually reach their breaking point. Even in a situation where someone was once robbed at a gunpoint, they were blamed by their store leader and told not to give in by complying too easily. You might get shot, okay? But the Halo 3 edition, really, guys, we're gonna lose profit here. Bob's coming.
You don't want to lose all that, those,
The coal score.
the coal, exactly.
The goddamn coal score for the show, right? Or for the store. If you get shot, we'll give you a day off.
Do you think they're like, do you want to take the new games instead?
Yeah, instead of robbing our money, what if you just took 3 new games and like 3 pre-ordered games, and that would balance out our coal score? And the guy's just like, in another robbery that took place in Pennsylvania, $5,000 worth of PS5s were stolen after being violently threatened by 2 men. This led to a top-performing GameStop manager of 13 years being fired, as if it was his responsibility to fight off the thieves for the beautiful, delicious Japanese gaming system. Several employees quit in protest, and it wasn't the first time employees rallied together against the upper management. In 2023, a Michigan GameStop was managed so horribly that every single employee quit at the same time. It occurred on an important day, the release of Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. However, customers came into the store only to find a letter posted on the wall that read, quote, unfortunately, due to poor working conditions, the staff of Brighton GameStop have decided to resign, effective immediately. Management overworkers, underpays, and underappreciated its frontline workers, set its unrealistic expectations and constantly threatens termination for any employees that cannot exceed them. And they're like, oh, I'm just gonna go to Walmart.
I'm just gonna go to Walmart.
That's where the customers are like, oh, okay. And they probably just turn around and leave.
There's a lot of people who've been doing that in like retail stores and fast food. They'll just put up a sign like Popeyes, be like, Popeyes corporate hates us. There's only 3 of us today. We're just not working today.
I see that. I've seen that with like Starbucks meetings of people being like, you can't enforce this or whatever, that kind of stuff. And it's always funny when they have like someone's there recording it and they like pan over and there's the managers who are just like so smugly being like, you motherfuckers.
you're all dead. The same thing happened in 2022, a year prior, in Nebraska, where every employee walked out and left an angry letter on the front door. And according to one employee, they were undertrained, verbally abused, and had their jobs threatened at every turn. And employees at GameStop have to deal with way more obnoxious customers than people may realize. One employee posted about how, after fully organizing the Funko Pop wall, a mother brought along her child and let them climb all over the shelves and destroy the entire display. 15 minutes later, after she left, they get a call about how the employees were racist for keeping an eye on her child. I don't know about that one. In one post, a customer was denied a return of a controller that had clearly been smashed to pieces. The man left after being threatened and called slurs for 30 minutes, only to run back inside and attempt jumping over the counter to attack him. He left after the employees threatened to call the police. And one employee posted a video he took in the store where a man is denied a return of his copy of Fallout 76 because he doesn't have a receipt. He becomes so infuriated that he starts destroying the entire store on his way out.
Hi, welcome to GameStop.
In a more extreme response, one man loses it after demanding a Steam code, claiming his didn't work. After being denied this, he told the employees that he planted a bomb in the store earlier that day, which would apparently go off if he did not give him a store code. An entire section of the mall had to be evacuated because of this bomb threat.
Didn't Chris Chan also attack
I think Chris Chan
pepper sprayed somebody?
Pepper sprayed somebody. I
At
think there's a
GameStop.
video. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one thing to encounter aggressive customers, but what about the weirdos, right? It's no surprise that GameStops might attract some odd characters. According to one ex-employee, a man that was talking to him was so open about his life that he ended up showing her a picture of his diaper collection on his phone. Would you like that? Another customer came in because of the help wanted sign on the window, only to say that he has to confirm how far the Neos Elementary School is before he can officially apply.
Oh, because he's a...
In an infamous video, members of the FaZe Clan walk into a GameStop thinking the employees will recognize them. They're met with mostly silence and leave the store after flaunting their millions of YouTube subscribers to grown adults. It's horrible. Good God. There was also a man that came in to try and trade in a bunch of Gooner games like Leisure Suit Larry, The Guy Game, and Playboy Mansion. He was asked to leave because there was all over his cases.
Oh, that's just glue.
It's glue. It's Elmer glue, dude. I'm a model builder.
It's tapioca pudding. I was eating.
And I had snack pack pudding. Tapioca. It was great. According to one female employee, she had weird men wait outside the store to talk to her almost daily, to the point where she has to have her mom and boyfriend wait outside when she closed up to avoid the confrontations. And similarly to that, another woman dealt with tons of weird attention from male customers because the manager exclusively hired attractive women to create what she described as a hot GameStop. Men would drive from far away to lurk around and talk to staff. The employee was eventually fired and was told that the manager was later taken away in an ambulance after having a violent meltdown where he, quote, declared himself as a high archangel.
Sounds kind of like the coffee thing.
Which, well, not only that, but it sounds like he's trying, like, is he a fucking cult leader at a GameStop? All my beautiful babies will play these games.
I am the archangel.
And there will be pre-orders and there will be pre-owned games sold and then new games sold and accessories, all at a perfect rate, a perfect call system for Archangel.
Do you think he had a pretty high Cole score then?
I would assume his Cole score was very high. I would hope so, at least. He's the Archangel. Speaking of women, it turns out that GameStop once created an entire training video that teaches male employees to converse with them, right? Because they might not have done that before. The video stimulates interactions between men and different types of female shoppers, teaching you how to avoid making a woman feel stupid by throwing out a bunch of gamer jargon at her.
Hi, welcome to GameStop. My name's Alex. How you doing?
As you can see, our unfortunate associate has inadvertently triggered the flight response by his abrupt entrance into gamer jargon.
They don't know how to play, they're just here picking it up for their man. If you have to rub her back. Calm her down. What if it was like that? Massage her shoulders. If she looks stressed, pick out a game for her. Pat her on the head and send her away.
Reach out and touch her arm.
Touch her arm and look her deep in the eyes. Not only is working there stressful and weird and creepy, we haven't even talked about the massive amount of GameStop robberies. GameStop is home to tons of products that are incredibly valuable and small in size, making them highly valued by thieves. Some of which, like newer next-gen consoles, have limited stock and can be resold online for insane prices. And it doesn't help that many stores are often run by just one employee at a time in an effort to cut cost and save money. And in 2023, around 30 GameStops in the US were robbed within a mere 3 months.
Even as recently as this year, a group of burglars crashed their car into the GameStop in Chicago to steal games and equipment from the store. This was seemingly a part of a large-scale GameStop crime spree, with 4 GameStops being targeted for smash and grabs in just 1 month. Some burglars are not nearly as successful, like a man from Georgia that was caught trying to steal from a GameStop wearing a plastic bag over his head as a disguise. It's pretty awesome.
Is that water bottle bag?
I don't know what it is, but it's like, what the fuck? What are you doing, man? The St. Mary's Police Department Facebook page made a post requesting information from anyone that could identify the man. They wrote, and I quote, "You can help us catch him. Once you can stop laughing." He was eventually found and booked on 2 felony charges for criminal damage to property and burglary. In a particularly heartbreaking story, a GameStop smash and grab led to one immediate arrest after a young man's entire crew ditched him before he could jump into one of the 2 getaway vehicles. Peace. With all the chaos that surrounded GameStop's long history, you must be wondering, where does GameStop stand today? Because I know so many people that are watching this right now are probably thinking to themselves, oh my God, I haven't been to a GameStop in years. I haven't even thought about GameStop in years. I only think about GameStop on Black Friday, that kind of thing. I only think about GameStop when it's like a busy time of year, but even then I don't go. It's been forever since I've stepped foot in a store. I mean, GameStop's reputation has never been fully repaired, and they are surely no longer the retail titans they used to be. And after acquiring ThinkGeek, a retailer that focused on selling geek culture products, the store has slowly focused more and more on selling toys and collectibles like Pokemon cards and Funko Pops and all that bullshit. They even teamed up with PSA to start official card grading service. Why?
To undersell you?
To undersell you on fucking cards? Jesus Christ, bro. According to GameStop's recent earnings, GameStop's about to sell more collectible items than games. GameStop, collectible stop. Change the name. The biggest and most recent news to come out of the GameStop, however, is their decision to spend $500 million on 4,710 Bitcoins to be used as treasury reserve assets. There you go. This led to GameStop shares lowering by 10.9%, but the company states that there is a set ceiling on how much Bitcoin they will continue to purchase. We're gonna do it.
We're not there yet.
We're not there yet. When we get there, we'll stop. I mean, it's a fucking clown show. There's something nostalgic about walking into a video game retailer. Something that's becoming less and less possible as the years go on. You know what I mean? It's just like the brick and mortar store system is, albeit inconvenient, but it used to be a place where it was like just a place you could drive to. It was something that was tangible that you could walk into, and it was just like a place that would take your stress away, though. It was a place of excitement, you know what I mean? And I think that a lot of like independent stores have started to pop up and fill that void just because all these larger retailers that we grew up with or that have been around for a long time have slowly become, I mean, like the fucking worst. I don't think that they were ever really good, but you didn't have anything else. It's just like it's full ugly faces shown and it's horrible. So if you want to revisit that feeling, maybe find a small mom and pop shop in your area to shop at, you know, because there's so many people that aren't just scummy resellers and fucking parasites. There are people who legitimately love the culture of video games and will give you a fair price and, you know, all that other bullshit. Or, you know, you can just buy online. I don't really give a shit what you do. So.
Have you ever traded anything at the GameStop?
Yeah, dude. When you're young and dumb. Usually a lot of people that trade and stuff at GameStop, it's just people who, one, back in the day, you didn't know what you had. So you just be like, okay, well, I just want this new game anyways. And you're just frivolous with just being like, well, I've played these. I don't know. And you sell them back and you buy something new and you're like, oh, fuck, I wish I would have kept that. It's the same with like Magic cards. How many times I like traded in Magic cards or sold Magic cards where I'm like, oh man, I really wish I would have kept that.
Oh, yes.
It's just that. It's a fucking horrible system. It's mostly, I think it preys on young people. That's what I think.
Young, dumb
people who are just like, whose attention spans can only be like, okay, I want to play that now. Okay, I want to play that now. It's that kind of vibe. GameStop sucks. What can I tell you? It's a horrible place. That's the end of the video.
Wait, no, we're going to GameStop, aren't we?
Bye. Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Come on and sit down because today we're talking about reality television. Reality shows are one of the most popular genres of television around right now. And in fact, it seems that the genre is currently at its peak popularity with hundreds of new shows releasing every year. The same show clones 8 different times, hundreds of them done in 12 different languages. As trashy as they may be, people can't get enough of the drama that comes from these shows, often building obsessive fan bases and communities around them. This, however, can lead to some pretty life-altering events for the contestants involved in them. Just recently, a viral clip from the show Temptation Island Spain has been making the rounds. Temptation Island is a reality show where unmarried couples split off to meet hot singles and have their faithfulness tested. Just a disaster. Just an absolute disaster. In the most recent season, a man named Montoya has had to watch his girlfriend Anita cheat on him 3 separate times. times as he crashes out on camera for millions to see, and it just goes viral. She's just getting dicked down all the time. He rips off his shirt, he runs away. It is graphic. Like, I'm surprised. I don't know what the fuck's going on in Spain, but there's some raw dog going on in that show. Each time, he reacts in more dramatic ways, from tearing his shirt off in frustration to screaming as he runs across a dark beach to confront her, interjected by clips of his wife getting railed. I mean, it's him running, and then it just cuts back to her getting absolutely pounded. I bet the editing team had a great time with that one. But this got me thinking, are there more former reality show contestants that had their lives ruined that didn't blow up on Twitter? Things that happened maybe back in the day? And that's why today we are looking at the dark side of reality television.
Today's video is sponsored by Fume, the leaders in flavored air. We've all got bad habits, and breaking those bad habits can be a hard thing to do. So why don't you let Fume help? And Fume is an award-winning flavored air device that helps fill the void when you're ditching a bad habit. The best part is, Fume is not a vape. There's no vapor, which means you can use it anywhere. And they just launched a new flavors, spearmint ice and cinnamon heart, to keep your company while you're building better habits. Plus, there's no nicotine, no toxic flavors, and no batteries involved. Fume also helps you calm down. With satisfying snaps and clicks, Fume is a perfect partner when you're feeling anxious. Fume has already helped over 300,000 people build better habits. Try Fume today, and if you order the Journey Pack now using my code papameat, you get a free Fume topper, an awesome accessory to help level up your experience. Go to tryfume.com/papameat or scan the QR code on screen. Thank you, Fume, for sponsoring the video, and back to the video.
And first, we're going to start off with by far one of the most popular, one that I love, near and dear to my heart, Kitchen Nightmares. Gordon Ramsay. Kitchen Nightmares is one of the most popular reality shows of all time, with over 9 seasons. In it, celebrity chef Gordon Ramsay visits struggling restaurants in hopes of reviving them before they go out of business. In the British version, he's a little bit more caring. In the American one, he basically just calls you a big, fat-faced idiot, and everything you do is disgusting, which, to be fair, a lot of the people in these restaurants do have disgusting food, but goddamn it, Gordon is gonna tell you. John Chapman, who owned a New Orleans Cajun restaurant called Chappie's, accused Gordon Ramsay of sucking the soul out of his establishment. He altered the menu to go from traditional Cajun dishes like gumbo and jambalaya to fried chicken and hamburgers, which also, it's like, I don't know. If you're in New Orleans, it's a Cajun restaurant, it's a Cajun city, but going from that to just fried chicken and hamburgers seems like a very, dare I say, not very eventful or insightful way of altering the menu. This, alongside the decor makeover, was promised to give them lines of customers out the door, but instead, their traffic was whittled down to around 1 table per night. Desperate to win back the customers that came to love the original Chappie's, they reverted the changes 1 month later. However, the restaurant was ultimately shut down permanently soon after. Which also, dude, it's not like just because you changed the fucking menu back to Cajun and fucking hush puppies and you changed the carpet again, doesn't mean you're gonna get out of your financial slump. What they should have done is just be like, Gordon, write me a check. I don't know what I'm supposed to tell you. If you have a guy who drove one restaurant to the ground, you can give him fucking hot pickles and hamburgers all you want, but is he gonna know how to run the new business? I mean, I doubt it. Or we can talk about an English version, because you're probably thinking that only Americans get it bad, but there's casualties over there and, over there on the island outside the States, which Kitchen Nightmare shuts down Bonaparte's in West Yorkshire. Restaurant and wine bar Bonaparte's was struggling to make more than $200 or 200 pounds, euros? Pounds. More than 200 pounds a week before Gordon Ramsay came in to try to salvage the business. In the episode, he trashed him. He did trash him, the 12-year-old head chef.
It tastes like rubber. That was You are taking the piss, you know that?
Yes, got it.
12 years old.
Oh, wow.
12-year-old head chef tore that little motherfucker to shreds. In the episode, he trashed Tim, the 12-year-old head chef, when he challenged Tim to cook a plate of scallops that ended up making Gordon sick, and he just let that little motherfucker have it. Throughout the episode, they tried to improve the cleanliness and professionalism of the kitchen, but ended in a failure. When Gordon left, the owner of Bonaparte's, Sue Ray, was in tears after realizing that not only was Gordon unable to fix anything, but the way their business portrayed on TV made people afraid to eat there.
Thank God she closed that kitchen down because it was fucking disgusting.
Which, I mean, you have a 12-year-old chef. I think people were going to be afraid. I mean, if you reveal that to anybody, I feel like, and he's cooking seafood. At the end of the episode, Tim was fired for his lack of cooking skills. He's 12 years old and professionalism. I mean, are we wrong? Is he 12? According to Sue, he wasn't actually a head chef as described in the show, but a trainee. She was supposedly promised that the episode would end on a positive note, but it was instead rather bleak. Sue and her chefs had a watch party when the episode aired, only to realize that it was going to destroy their reputation. That'd be a tough pill to swallow that night, watching the newest thing on the telly. This was the first episode of the series, and Sue didn't even even realize the show was going to be called Kitchen Nightmares. She was unaware. She's just like, it's Gordon's cooking show. Before it was seen by millions of people, media stations from all over joined in on trashing the restaurant, leading to their business tanking harder than ever. As far as the rancid scallops, Sue told reporters, quote, "The truth is, the only reason Tim uses scallops was because he thought he was being asked to demonstrate the presentation of his signature dish. He never expected Gordon to eat them because they were about to be thrown out." That's a bit of a cop-out. We're just gonna cook it and throw it away? What the f are you talking about, Sue? Producers of the show claim that they only filmed things as they were clearly presented and that, quote, Sue Ray has only herself to blame. Even colder. I don't know who to trust here. Apparently, Sue later came close to homelessness after being 400,000 pounds in debt, trying to sell the restaurant as well as her flat to pay it off.
She apparently, I didn't get the age of Tim, but he started off as a dishwasher and he couldn't fill the spot to fill the chef. And Tim was like, I could do it.
I bet you Tim has never even ate a scallop, let alone, I mean, what is he gonna say? My signature dish is fucking macaroni and hot dogs? Like, what the f? Or if we want to get out of kitchen nightmares, we can go to Extreme Home Makeover. Many reality shows revolve around giving lucky contestants extravagant things. While this seems wholesome and generous, many families are simply not prepared for what occurs when the cameras are gone. Hit my ride.
You think all those cars broke down?
Yeah, all those cars, they put fucking PS2s in the car in aquariums, and yeah, they break down and the fish die. And then Exhibit does not come to help. The Okvoth family appeared in season 2 of Extreme Makeover, Home Edition. Cassandra Okvoth, who was 9 at the time, was diagnosed with cancer. Instead of a home makeover, Cassandra asked them to redesign the children's hospital ward where she was being treated in order to raise the spirits of other patients. God damn, little saint. What the fuck? Not me, I would have been selfish as f, dude. I want a Spider-Man on my wall. Make my house Spider-Man. Like, you just want the whole structure Spider-Man? Yeah, want the whole building to look like Spider-Man. After completing the job, they decided to also turn their small home into a 2-story mansion. Okay, so what they're doing here is they're just like, this little selfish son of a bitch. If we don't do something for her, there's gonna be an uproar. We're gonna turn your small home into a 2-story mansion. What? During the reveal, they were beyond appreciative, but the producers of the show didn't think through what manufacturing a gift of this magnitude entails. I think it's more of a oopsie-daisy afterthought, because while the house was paid for, the utilities and the tax bills, they're not. They don't pay for those. A house of this size costed much more in utilities than their modest 1-story home. The first electric bill for this home, single month electric bill for this home, was $2,200. Okay?
How?
I don't know if they're like, we're mansion owners now, so every light in the house has to be on, and we're running the AC at 60 degrees. Maybe that could have been it, but there's no way their mortgage was $2,200. The electric bill alone is probably, at that time, triple what they were paying their mortgage. Not only were their life savings being drained, but having a mansion complete with a home theater being broadcasted all over television led to an increased attempt in robberies. Would you just not immediately sell the home? I wonder if they have a clause in there where, like, you cannot sell it for X amount of time, because in that way it's just people would just get on the show and flip the house or something. On many occasions, people would break into their home, one time resulting in Cassandra coming face to face with a hammer-wielding burglar.
Not Cassandra, she's cancer.
The cancer child, who was like, just give the kids something else, leave us behind, is put into now this like prison she didn't even ask for, and people are coming in trying to beat her to death with a hammer. Cool, Extreme Home Makeovers, that's awesome. Move that bus, fuck off. They were forced to purchase tons of expensive security cameras to protect themselves, despite still struggling to pay their bills. I probably would have hit up one of the producers. I would have been like, dude, listen, it's cool. You gotta get me some fucking cameras for this house or something, an alarm. How are they also making a mansion? They're just like, there's no locks on any of the doors. We were strapped as it is, but no locks on any of the doors. During the height of the 2009 recession, they were able to sell the house for $540,000 at the last possible moment before foreclosure. They were able to pay their debts, but left with only $8,000 to start their new lives with. But on the bright side, at least, Cassandra is now cancer-free, married with children, and working as a gymnast. Nice little positive thing. I mean, to be fair, Cassandra's probably like, I didn't even want the fucking house. It's weird to think that like they had to sell the house to get out of debt that the house put them in. That's bullshit. Let's get out of a sad time house makeover and go into The Bachelor, everybody's sexy dating show. Bachelor's been on way too long. I want to say I think there's over 30 seasons of The Bachelor.
Did you ever watch The Bachelor?
No. And you know what the thing is too, is I know that if I watched it, I would enjoy it. I love trash television. I love it. I eat it up. The only thing close to The Bachelor I did was Rock of Love Bus with Brett Michaels and all those trashy white trash women.
Hey, Brett! Hello, everybody!
God,
he's like the hottest rock star ever.
And I like how there's like 4 seasons, and each new season he's like, well, the last one didn't work out. Because it ends with him like getting together with one of the girls, and he's just like, I don't know, the spark died. You're like, okay, cool, Bret Michaels, thanks. But one of the Bachelor alums says that reality TV almost ruined his family. Chris Bukowski was a handsome TV personality that showed up on multiple shows of the Bachelor franchise. And in 2015, it was revealed that he would retire from reality TV as a whole. What a tragedy. In his words, quote, it almost completely ruined me, my family, and my career. Are you walking away from your career?
Well, I guess that's why it's saying it ruined his career. He has to quit.
In my career. Chris was ridiculed a lot for treating people terribly on his Bachelor appearances, often being seen as desperate and manipulative. I know all the guys are just like, hell yeah. I think how these shows work is that if you don't get chosen, but you're a popular character, they bring you back. I think that's how some of those work.
Is that the Bachelorette?
I think it's both of them.
Okay.
It goes Bachelor, and then it goes Bachelorette, and it goes back and forth, but I think they just keep bringing people back as long as they're popular, I think. Chris grew distant from his parents because of how they reacted to the things people were saying about him on TV. And Chris's father didn't even want to speak to him. I'd be like, Dad, it's TV. You realize that, like, this is make-believe, right? This is not real. I don't even want to talk to you, son. You're not the boy I raised. It's like, I'm an actor. I'm an actor, Dad. Chris could feel himself becoming more irrelevant, but because he was obsessed with fame and wanted to fix his reputation, he would constantly return to future Bachelor shows, only to further embarrass himself. Buddy, Chris, me and you are in the same boat, all right? At least you're pretty. He became depressed and addicted to taking anxiety medication to cope with the stress. God damn. And in 2015, people saw him at his weakest, getting dangerously drunk on a season of Bachelor in Paradise and leaving after only 1 episode. He admits he doesn't even remember it. Dude, cool it with the Bachelor appearances. Because I know that the producers are looking at him like a fucking gold mine. You're addicted to fentanyl and Ambien? He's like, yeah. They're like, get on back in there, buddy. I think that now's your time. And then in 2015 again, he announced his retirement on TV. Near the end of his speech, he tells the audience, quote, I finally realized I'll never be able to change the past. I apologize you had to witness my struggle publicly over the last 3 years. He's a handsome man. I don't know. What happened to him? He's alive. I don't know. 2015. That was just a couple years ago. It's a decade. Who knows what happened in the decade with him? We'll see. Hopefully he's married and he's not addicted to Ambien and hydrocodone or whatever. But sometimes reality shows don't just ruin people's lives. For many unfortunate contestants, it leads to their untimely death, which in a way is ruining them.
I was gonna say, yeah.
It doesn't just ruin their lives and leave them in the gutter, it actually kills them. Which we could talk about the adventure reality show that led to a helicopter collision. That feels like maybe a bit of a kind of a bad time to bring that one up with what's going on in the world. In 2015, goddamn, 2015, what the f is going on? In 2015, production began for a French reality show called Dropped. Drop. How do you say dropped in a, I am French, yeah, Drew.
Dropped.
What do you say, Drew? Drew. 2 teams of athletes would be blindly dropped into a remote location without any food or assistance, forcing contestants to work together to find civilization. Kind of sounds like a little bit like Naked and Afraid or whatever, but it is funny to be like, yeah, we're just going to drop them with no resources, and we'll check up on them. We have some GoPros in the forest. I'm sure they'll be fine. The season would begin in Argentina and consist of various professional athletes and Olympians as both teams were boarding their helicopters. Tragedy struck. Right after the helicopters took off, they moved too close to each other and collided. Both plummeted to the ground, killing contestants, production staff, and both the pilots. Yeah, there's no way we can show that.
We'll just recreate it in Minecraft or Gary's mod.
10 people in total lost their lives, and the show was subsequently canceled. Could have been a great show. Yeah, we don't even know. We didn't even get to see it.
Why were they flying so close?
What's fucking weird in the video, they're like flying, and you're like, okay, there they go. And then just all of a sudden, they're just like, I've never been on a helicopter. There's nothing in my being that wants to get on a helicopter. It's just tragedy. So many people lost their lives. A lot of famous people. That's all people know. So many. I think that the amount of helicopter crashes a year is actually pretty staggering. You'd be surprised.
Have you seen the Afghans trying to pilot the helicopter?
Have I seen the Afghans trying to pilot the helicopter?
Well, it's like right after the Americans left Afghanistan.
Oh, then we just left a helicopter
there?
there?
It was like truck driver tries to draw a flying airplane.
Does he just nosedive it?
Immediately goes up and just crashes. Tragic.
That is tragic. Moving on. Tara's house causes resident to end her life. I really got to stop telling people too that I'm going to do like a happy video or whatever. I saw in the last video, people were like, I thought you said this week was supposed to be positive. Well... This is my life. Hope you guys are looking for a nice escape today. Terrace House was a massively popular Japanese reality show franchise that picked a group of strangers to live together. It was praised for being far less dramatic than a typical reality show, often showing conflict that was more mundane but realistic.
ハンバーガー好きだけど今日はハンバーガーじゃなくねって言ってるだけじゃないみたいになっちゃってっていうことが許されない彼氏のよ。
The Japanese way. Subtle, but striking. During Terrace House Tokyo 2019 through 2020, one of the 6 residents was Hana Kimura, a 22-year-old woman who happened to be a professional Japanese wrestler. Looks like Harley Quinn. I thought she was a cosplayer, like a cyberpunk thing. Does that look like a cyberpunk cosplay? While many enjoyed her on the show, getting insight into her life as a wrestler, other viewers were ruthlessly ridiculing her online for being unlikable. But things began to escalate, however, after one particular episode. Kai Kobayashi, another member of the show, who had previous friction with Hana, accidentally shrunk one of Hana's ring outfits after carelessly adding his clothes to the wash without removing it. She was fed up, y'all. And what followed was 10 minutes of Kimura aggressively tearing into the man in the heat of the moment. The cyberbullying she had dealt with became infinitely worse, which ultimately led to her taking her own life.
なんで私こんな頑張ってんのにあんたにそういう風にされなきゃいけないの？お前が喋れよ。
なんて言えばわかんない。今は本当にごめんしか言えない。
I like how it's just a person being like, I really wish you wouldn't have done that. This means a lot to me. And the guy isn't even like lashing back out. So opposite of American media, where American media, he'd be like, you bitch, I didn't mean to. I said I'm sorry. She's like,
Yeah, really? Really? I'll kill you. I'll drag you in the street and I'll kill you.
And in this one, she's just like, you know, I feel really hurt. Like, I wish you just would have been more, you know, careful with what you did. And he's just like, and then now Japanese people are just like, you are horrible, bitch! But people discovered gruesome now deleted tweets from before the incident showing brutal and bloody images of harm posted by Kimura. In other posts, she would reveal the great toll that online ridicule had on her mental health. The rest of the season never aired, and Terrace House has yet to release a new season after the controversy that followed. Reports from former cast members reveal that the producers of the show would aggressively push residents to play certain roles in order to create some of its most iconic moments. Of course, dude. Every bit of reality television is scripted, or it's fabricated. Even if the contestants don't know, things are being played in a way to where the producers know they're going to get the outcome they want.
Do you think someone put her like outfit in the laundry?
I bet you anything somebody put her outfit in his laundry thing, and without him even noticing, he just like was throwing it in. Like something like that where he's like, oh, I didn't know. Or to him, he's like, oh, I'm sorry. And then of course she's devastated. It turns out that this even extends to the argument that led to Kimura being intensely cyberbullied. Text she had sent to her friend prior to the event revealed that she was instructed to go off on Kai Kobayashi and even slap him if given the chance. Her mother claimed that the producers thought that Kimura should act as the heel, similar to how she did in the ring. They're like, she's a wrestler, she's the evil one. But because Terrace House has a reputation for being real and not exaggerated, producer intervention like this had a major impact on how cast members were treated outside of the show. Because people thought it was so real and that it was so authentic, they're just like, these are exactly everything that you're doing and seeing is real. And my God, that wasn't the case. And if we want to keep strolling down a positive lane, let's talk about the Ginny Jones murder. The Ginny Jones Show was a massive popular tabloid talk show from 1991 hosted by stand-up comedian Ginny Jones. Roll one of the jokes.
Women look for basically the same things in a man. I'll tell you what I find attractive on a man.
Pussy!
That was pretty funny.
I enjoyed it. In 1995, there was an unaired taping of the show titled Revealing Same-Sex Secret Crush, where guests would be invited to meet their secret admirers. I feel like the Jerry Springer show probably had an irreversible damage on the kind of stuff people brought into on the air. The episode became public later on as evidence in a court case. What seemed like a lighthearted show became strangely uncomfortable. A 32-year-old Scott Amador awkwardly confessed his love to his friend Jonathan Schmitz, only to be rejected on live TV.
Can you tell us what your status is? Are you involved with anybody or?
No, but I am definitely heterosexual, I guess you could say.
That's all good and fun, right? That happens all the time. Jerry Springer, right? Rip out your hair. It's like some fat redneck chick, and some like little person comes out and like nosedives into the crowd. It's all good fun, right? Because the audience got a big kick out of it. And Ginny Jones did her best to milk the moments for as long as she could by asking tons of follow-up questions, right? She was being the Jerry. Why would you do this, right? Trying to find the human aspect of these people. Days later, Scott pushed further by leaving a sexually inappropriate note at his house, despite knowing he was not at all interested. John confronted Scott directly, and he admitted that the note was from him. So now it's even more weird because it's like, dude, we're not even on TV. I told you no. I'm not interested. And he's just like, take that. I wrote it for you. take it.
I bet he was thinking like, well, maybe on air he was pressured, but
Well, exactly. Yeah, exactly. You want me to and right? We can't say that because we'll get demonetized. But you want me to suck and slick and sniff and poke? And John's just like, no, dude, no. I have a date later at Dave and Buster's. Like, I'm like trying to get my dick sucked later by a girl, and he's like, oh fuck. Oh, no way. John grabbed a shotgun from his car and shot 2 rounds into Scott's chest before immediately calling the police and confessing and turning himself in.
I don't know what got over me. I don't know what got over me.
All right, listen, dude. If one of my buddies came up to me and they're just like, I want to scratch and sniff you, I think I could just handle being like, no, versus pulling out the shotty and pumping 2 into the chest, I guess.
He was insecure. Rage filled him.
Which he used the gay panic defense. I didn't know what he was going to do. He was just weird and gay. 91 court 2 would have been like, I've had that happen. Which was a legal tactic in which a heterosexual person could claim they lost control after dealing with an undesired sexual advance from a homosexual person. The Salem witch trials become more and more real, I feel like, as the years go on. With this, he was given a lesser charge to 2nd-degree murder and was put behind bars until 2017. Well, that doesn't seem. He's been out for a bit now. Wow. 1995. So basically, he was in there for what, 12 years? 24 years.
Well, he got out 1 year on good behavior.
Good behavior. He's like, well, you did have the gay panic, my friend. That's such a crazy tactic. Well, given the conditions, we still got to charge you, unfortunately, but we'll knock it down to a 2nd degree. Meeting adjourned. Which, to be fair, I'm not trying to say that the old boy pushing him with the scratch and sniff thing, and he's just like, scratch it. Listen, I'm not saying that's good, but it's a bit of an overreaction, yeah. Or we could talk about John and Kate plus 8, and we get to watch their marriage be destroyed on camera. John and Kate plus 8 was a reality show created in 2007 that followed a couple living their lives with 8 children in Pennsylvania. While the show became massively popular, their lives began to fall apart the longer it continued. Basically, they had a happy family, a big old happy family. We got to basically watch a marriage unfold and burn up into hellfire in real time. That was around the craze too, where it was like following either like a Mormon family with like a cheaper by the dozen situation, or like a bunch of like, there was a bunch of different ones where it was like, I'm just shooting the kids out now. I don't even care. Because that show came out at the same time as like Little People, Big World. That was a thing. Literally just watching like a bunch of little people walk around. They had like one normal son too. You know, there was some producer who was like, oh, fuck, jackpot. They have one normal kid. Oh, the show had become so popular that each subsequent season wanted more and more episodes. It got to a point where they had a camera in their face just about every day of the week, something that began to really put the two of them on edge. Yeah, dude. Over time, they became absolutely sick of each other. The production heavily leaned into it and even goaded the two of them to air out their personal grievances with each other.
She was probably, I'm sorry, can you stop breathing so loud, honey? He's like, breathe quietly.
The crumbling marriage became the new focus of the show. Once again, it's just all these things are all just producers just being like, good. You all should talk about it on camera for the show. Yes. And then like they like walk over and he's just like, don't forget to talk about how he refused to put the dishes away. You know what I mean? They're in their ear probably being like, yeah, dude, you're in the fucking right. She's being a bitch. Or they're like, yeah, he's a dickhead. You have different people in their ears 100%.
They're also playing it up of like, no, it's like, this will be like therapy. You guys are airing it out.
Yeah, it's going to give other people hope. Marriage is tough, but you guys are going to persevere. He like looks over at his producing partner like, like that. But what followed, a long-running series of controversy pushed by tabloid news outlets, from cheating scandals to public divorce in 2009, and even an ugly 12-year-long custody battle that they would sometimes discuss on televised talk shows. Eventually, in 2022, some of their children began to speak up about their struggles with growing up in front of the camera crew. Their son, Colin, admitted in recent years that it completely tore the family apart, leading to him being extremely distant to his parents. Colin also started to reveal much more shocking behavior from Kate after her divorce. According to him, Kate would specifically target him to vent her frustrations. He'd hear the front door open, and he'd be like, oh, here we go. Here comes mom with her fucking double-decker stroller or whatever. Colin, I gotta talk. He's like, God damn. This would range from being chastised verbally to having his hands and feet zip-tied and locking him in the basement for several days. Okay.
Whoa! What?
Kate had built a special room in the basement that would be covered in cameras so Colin could be surveilled while he was being punished. He was forced to homeschool and live segregated from his other siblings. She's like, well, what else am I going to do with all these cameras? They just left him here. Yeah. Kate had admitted Colin to a mental health facility for behavioral and psychiatric conditions that were later proven to be completely false.
You shouldn't have been there is what you're saying to me.
Yes, shouldn't have, no. It's unfortunate that that's how my mom raised me as a person.
It was believed that she was only there because it allowed Kate to escape being caught for her abuse, and she started to claim that Colin had a, quote, distorted perception of reality. I don't know what he's talking about. There's no room in the basement. Like, okay, cool, because we have to go check it out soon. She's like, really? Okay, can I use the restroom really quick? And you see, like, run into the house and start, like, cleaning stuff up. At 11 years old, Colin was put on tons of medications that he didn't need, telling reporters that he often felt like a zombie. And he vividly remembered using crayons to write a letter for his dad, begging to be saved from the facility. And there's even fucking photos of the letters, dude. I might as well read one of them here. Dear Dad.
Joey Wheeler.
Yes, yeah, I know. Joey Wheeler. Dear Dad, I'm not trying to trick you, but I still love you. I told Mom I want to live with you. She said no. But right? She can't choose for me. I'm old enough now. I'm your son, not hers. She was abusive to me after I left your house. I'm sorry to take this to court because there's a bunch of redacted shit. You're my dad, my savior. Please help me and let me meet Colleen. I'm counting on you to get me out of here. Please, Daddy. I love you. It's an 11-year-old who wrote that in black crayon. They couldn't even give the son of a bitch just a ballpoint pen. Have you ever written with a crayon? Hard. So now he looks like a fucking maniac. He's like, I'm your son, and it's like all written out all weird and shit. The dad's gonna like read this and be like, Colleen Hyde. The woman like runs off. It was then that John realized how bad Kate was treating their children and fought as hard as he could to regain custody. Today, he has custody of Colin as well as his daughter Hannah, while the other 6 children live with Kate. Well, that's fun to know that Kate's just out there zip tying people probably and throwing them in those fucking hefty trash bags that you can like vacuum out the air. Whatever. She's like, gotta keep it down here to be safe, and puts them in like a fucking cupboard. I don't trust Kate. She scares me. I also don't trust John too. John's sitting there like perfectly tan. What's happening? Colin, wait, hold on, big guy. What's going on? It's like a Mai Tai. Okay, I'm on my way. Listen, reality TV is trash, right? That's all it is. If you watch reality TV, you are consuming a trashy product. It's just garbage. It is nothing. There's nothing of substance there. But goddamn, you know, it's the same thing with junk food. It's tasty, right? You watch it, you get hooked. Next thing you know, you're sitting on the couch and you have type 2 diabetes, right? Welcome to my world. But there's an inherent scumminess to the productions of your favorite shows, right? Every show that you watch, these shows are built on blood and tears. I'm going to tell you that much right now. And we live in a world where everything has to be sensationalized, right? They can't just, you saw even the Japanese version. These motherfuckers are quaint. And all of a sudden now they're just like, throw this deal in her laundry, and it resulted with somebody's life being taken, okay? And sometimes that comes with the cost of treating people like props rather than human beings, and I think that's just a sad, sad meme. So this is what I'll say. Watch your reality television shows, but realize that you're watching something fake. You're watching a facade, and that these people that you're watching, there's probably a little bit more behind the camera than you expect. I'm depressed. I'm horribly depressed. One of these days we'll make a happy video. No one will watch it. Because it's the point that we're trying to make with this, that if you just had a show about a bunch of people who were happy, no one would give a good goddamn. People like to have the spice and the evilness. So I wouldn't expect that happy video anytime soon. See you in the next one. Welcome back to the papameat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Coming and sitting down because today we're going to talk about hotels. We've all been to a hotel at some point in our lives, and the experience can vary greatly. From a luxury hotel that caters to your every need to a roach-infested Motel 6. There's a nice little spectrum out there. Regardless of what you're able to afford, going to a hotel can be a bit of a gamble. Sometimes they're dirty, sometimes the buildings are run down, and oftentimes there's a slight feeling of danger. I'm guessing from crackheads or maybe weird neighbors next door. What's that in the room next door? Apparently, hotel room break-ins have become surprisingly common. And by that, I mean, I feel like that's always been a thing. Right? So much so that there's an entire genre of video focused on giving tips on how to use household objects to lock hotel doors from unwanted guests or staff members, using things like hangers, towels, and forks to basically block the door. People even buy additional portable locks and alarms online to ensure their safety when staying overnight. You might think that doing this 20-minute long setup to lock your door or whatever while you're sleeping might seem outrageous, but at the same time, you don't want to be that one statistic. So let's look at just how bizarre and terrifying the world of hotels can be. Over time, we've seen a large increase in sexual predators going after women in hotel rooms. Really came swinging again with this one, dude. Jesus Christ. Can't ease into it at all? Holy. I thought we might start with like petty theft, but nope. Here we go. While creeps preying on innocent women have been a tale as old as time itself, more people have felt comfortable coming forward to share their stories. One woman from Austin, Texas recounts the night she had awoken to a man who had somehow gotten access to her hotel key. As he was attempting to open the door, the woman noticed his finger prying through the door, trying to undo the latch. The woman screamed and charged at the door and slammed it shut, yelling, "Get the f out!" The man screamed, "Ah!" and quickly scurried off. She quickly called 911, but soon realized that the man's severed fingers were still in the door latch when the police arrived, which is awesome. Yeah. I would put them in a fucking jar. If I was that woman, I would pickle those fingers 100%. And it goes without saying that more often than not, the source of most disturbances and strange occurrences are the hotel guests themselves. For example, one man was arrested for gooning in the hotel lobby. In Nashville, such a beautiful musical city, huh? A man named Jonathan Walker had visited a Hilton Garden Inn, and he started using the computer in the hotel's business center, despite not being a hotel guest. He started playing porn on the speakers for a long period of time until hotel workers started to notice. They called the police, who approached him and tried to get his attention. Jonathan refused to stop watching porn, to the point that the police officers had to take him into custody and remove him from the premises. As it turns out, this was a repeat occurrence, and he had already been banned from the hotel previously. He was charged with trespassing. He must have been locked in, dude. He's like, I can't hear you.
I like how he thinks it's like a public library where you can just go in and watch porn.
A public library where you can go and watch porn? Is that what you do?
Well, that's what...
No. It's a public library. What are you talking about? It's like a public library where they just let you watch porn, beat your dick all day, you little... Right, guys, in public library, and they can rent Shel Silverstein's Where the Sidewalk Ends. Right, guys? What I want to know is when they're like, he did it for a long time. I'm wondering, because they said he was a repeat offender to this hotel. I wonder if they just saw him and they're like, he'll be done in a bit. Who's motherfucker's got to clean that?
It sounds like he was just watching, not actually.
And you better believe, well, I think he was doing some dry rubbing, trying to start a little Indian fire. You know what I mean?
Oh, little pocket pool?
Yeah. Also, too, there's no way they're cleaning those keyboard keys. Just leave it.
They dust them, probably.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, this is not the only story about gooning in a hotel. There's also Florida's serial hotel gooner. That's right, my friends. Serial hotel gooner. In 2019, at Hotel Zamora, Jason Bradley walked into the hotel balcony naked and started masturbating in front of a hotel staff member. That's just not fun. That's a little peekaboo. That's a little Jack in the Box that I don't want to see.
Isn't that sexual harassment?
Yeah, well, it says the guy with the public library thing. How many I get it? When management intervened and told him to stop, Jason ran back to his room and locked the door. Like a little toddler. It's like when your parents try to pick you up from your friend's house and you try to hide and be like, just see if I can stay over again. Except this time it's like a 6'3" naked guy, hard dick, run through the lobby. Police were promptly called and he was arrested shortly after. 3 days later, Jason was again arrested for the same thing. This time at a Hyatt hotel near Clearwater Beach. This time Jason was caught jerking it in a beach house cabana that he didn't pay for, which was the biggest crime there. And that was after 3 women complained about him. So he was hiding there beating for a bit. Took 3 women to come forward and be like, there's a guy in there. And let me tell you, I don't think he paid. When confronted, Jason punched the employees in the face and then ran into the parking garage to hide. You think that was the hand he was using to beat his cock?
No, I think he punched with his other hand and kept beating.
So you think that he's beating and punching? That's an alpha. The police were called and Jason was once again swiftly arrested. He now faces multiple counts of lewd exhibition and assault. Just a few months ago, he was also arrested for indecent exposure involving a minor. Just had to put the little cherry on top. And there it is. He's just a guy being a dude. Okay, no, he's a pedophile. All right.
Today's video is sponsored by Hungry Root. While you stay busy and productive, let Hungry Root be your personal shopper for groceries. Hungry Root is the easiest way to eat healthy. Achieve any and all of your diet and health goals when you use Hungry Root to tailor your orders for items you care about. Plus, Hungry Root has great options for the whole family with healthy groceries like smoothies, kids snacks, sweets, ready-to-eat meals, salad kits, and even supplements. If you're looking for anti-inflammatory, gut-friendly, gluten-free, or dairy-free, all you gotta do is let Hungry Root know, and they will fill in your cart with personalized items that get better with time. Right when you get started, they ask you questions to see what you like to eat and how much you want to spend per week. That way, grocery shopping can be a whole lot simpler and stress-free. And when I'm stuck at my desk, I'll sometimes reach for snacks that I end up regretting later. But Hungry Root has helped me find healthier alternatives to keep stocked in the fridge so I can keep it healthy while I'm working. Hungry Root has over 15,000 recipes to share, so there's something for everyone. Plus, many Hungry Root's recipes can be made in just 15 minutes or less. So take advantage of this exclusive offer. For a limited time, get 40% off your first box, plus get a free item in every box $40 for life. Click the link below or go to hungryroot.com and use code PAPAMEAT. That's 40% off your first box and a free item of your choice for life at hungryroot.com with code PAPAMEAT. Thank you, Hungry Root, for sponsoring this video, and back to the video.
Some people have reported strange hotel guests sneaking into their hotel rooms in the middle of the night, creating a traumatizing experience. Natalia Taksisi, a model from Thailand, posted a viral TikTok detailing a horrifying experience she had in a Japanese hotel. She had traveled to Japan for a vacation, believing it would be a safe place for a solo trip. Natalsi decided to go to the APA Hotel and Resort in Tokyo, which is a well-known hotel chain. After a long day of sightseeing, she returned to a hotel and laid in bed before noticing a particularly repulsive smell. After some time, she had realized that it was coming from underneath her bed. Natalsi checked under the bed, coming face to face with a pair of eyes staring directly at her. She screamed and leapt off the bed. The Asian man climbed up from under the bed and stared at her for about 3 seconds.
Do you think he was naked?
No, I think he was just a weird, stinky man, little garbage man. At the moment, Natalsi claimed that those seconds felt like my life was over. Suddenly, the man started screaming before turning and sprinting out the room. Ah! Turns around, pulls a Kevin McAllister. The police were contacted where they found a hidden power bank that the man was using for his phone, meaning he had potentially been there for a long... He was there all day, for sure. He was charging his phone, playing like Angry Birds and shit. So old game. Due to the lack of CCTV cameras in the hotel, the police claimed that there was little chance of identifying the man, but eventually she was able to get a full refund for her trip. Thank God.
I stayed at a APA hotel.
Oh yeah, you did, didn't you? I forgot about that.
They're nice. Apparently, we need to fact check this, but apparently the APA hotel is run by a cult leader. So maybe it was a cult member.
Yeah, maybe it was a cult member. They're like, go up there and take this battery and let it charge. She'll be up there real soon. Hotel guests have a tendency to do whatever they want in hotel rooms, seeing as they're paying for it. While some will settle for cranking up the AC all night, others treat the place like their own personal trash can. This was the case for Kelly Tedford, the OnlyFans hotel pisser. In New Hampshire, an OnlyFans model named Kelly Tedford was caught destroying a Marriott hotel room with her bodily waste. She had the plan of filming a video for her OnlyFans, Kinky Kelly, in which she would cover the entire room in her own piss. She proceeded to pee all over the bedding, all over the curtains, even pissed on the AC unit, which it's like that's gonna blow it even more in the air. Which granted, the room's gonna smell like piss anyway, so she's like, fuck it. And she even pissed on the hotel Bible. For good measure, she even took a on the floor, which she would later hide in the upper tank of the toilet. A little upper decker. That was that. She's being a little bitch, dude. That's a woman who just needs to be slapped around.
She needs to be shown a thing or two.
All right, we're kidding. She was arrested and charged with criminal mischief. Further investigations showed that she had been doing things like this for years. And in one case, she was arrested for peeing all over grocery store products. Jesus fucking Christ. And a whole new problem with hotel guests emerges when you look at stories revolving around luxurious hotels. Some wealthy guests can be straight up menaces. Some hotel workers have to put up with a very unique type of harassment, like the smear campaign orchestrated by a teenager named Theodore Weintraub. Theodore had been attempting to order a drink at the bar inside of the Mark Hotel, an upscale spot known for its high-profile clientele. He was turned down due to him being 17, attempting to use a fake ID, which caused him to become aggressive. After causing a scene, he was banned from the hotel for disturbing other guests, and he later tried to enter through a dinner reservation with his family, only to be caught and denied entry. He begged them to reconsider, only to flip out since he didn't get his way. And according to the filing, the defendant began accusing the hotel of being anti-Semitic and spitting in people's food, until his father calmed him down. Theodore, stop. Stop it, Theodore. Calm down. We're sorry. He usually gets his alcohol and he's fine, but God damn it, Theodore, calm down. There was also reports of hotel staff passing by him on the street near the hotel. Theodore became enraged and started screaming at them. This frustrated him so much that 2 years later, he returned to the hotel only to enact his revenge. He hired multiple protesters to stand outside the hotel and smear their reputations with signs reading, "Mark supports Epstein. Mark denies the Holocaust," and "The Mark spreads disease." Check, check, and check. All the while, Theodore sat inside of his Cadillac parked out front so he could laugh at the scene unfolding. And at one point, hotel guests were physically accosted as well. Theodore made sure to do this during the busiest time when celebrity guests would be staying at the hotel, specifically Drake. At one point, they attempted to physically stop him from re-entering the hotel, causing a crowd of his fans to get into a physical altercation that ended in one protester being punched in the face. In the end, the hotel filed a restraining order against Theodore and barred him from continuing his protest within 150 feet of the property. They're like, so you can do it, but just a little farther down.
Does that even work though? I feel like they...
Well, first off, if the protesters aren't getting paid, they're going to show up a couple times, but they're going to quickly be like, I can't keep doing this. You know? Also, him sitting in his Cadillac, he's like definitely like a little Nepo baby thing, just chortling, eating snacks. It's like, can you pay us more? I can. My dad doesn't give me allowance yet. No. Other hotel staff members have recounted stories of guests making them incredibly uncomfortable in public forums. One worker tells a story of her creepiest night shift experience. One night shift worker explains that most of the calls they get late at night are from creeps, which just makes sense. People, little gooners going out there being like, I'm outside, I can smell your panties.
Jeez.
Like a little prank call stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm here, I'm outside. Whatever. Or just people just being like, what are you wearing? I mean, I could see that. Just weird shit.
Also drunk too, maybe.
Yeah, drunk assholes. I need a place to stay. She received a call at 1 a.m. from a hotel guest, only to find out that he was jerking off over the phone. What did I tell you? What did I tell you?
Do you think she heard it?
Yeah, dude. The pud? Probably definitely heard the pud was all wet, sound like a big like trough of mud.
Do you think he was making little moans?
Oh. I was wondering if I could get away. Wake up call. Another staff member recounted the time that a naked man ran into the lobby and started yelling at workers to give him directions to the bathroom. He was given directions only to go the wrong way and end up running into a wedding party. The man began to panic, crying profusely, and he turned back around, leaking all over himself and onto the floor. He had to be escorted out of the building by police, and the wedding event was comped to the hotel for the absurd interruption. How do we know that wasn't orchestrated?
I was just thinking the same thing.
I'm gonna do the same thing for my daughter's wedding. When my daughter gets married, I'm gonna be like, here's $200. Just shit yourself and run through. Oh, come on. Come on. And the whole thing is free. $200 and you save how many thousands? Come on now.
Easy to repeat too, because all you have to be like, the wedding's there, go up to the staff, ask where the bathroom is, go the wrong way.
Easy peasy. The only problem is your wedding's in a hotel.
Oh, well, they're nice hotels.
No, it's
the
true.
Hilton.
Yeah, but where'd you get married? The Hilton. Isn't it a typical thing, like just tiny chapels?
Or barns.
Or barn. I got married on a beach.
Oh yeah, that's right.
On an Oregon beach.
I want to get married in Scotland on the cliff, and have my wife come down on a helicopter.
Some of the most entitled and chaotic guests at a hotel are easily from wedding parties. One front office manager of a hotel describes the most chaotic night of their entire career. 70 rooms were rented by attendees of the wedding, with the bride and bridesmaids infuriating nearby guests during the loud bachelorette party. After receiving 3 noise complaints, they decided to pay a group of kids $20 to run around the hallways in order to distract attention away from them. The next day, the bride and the bridesmaids angrily complained to the front desk worker about the staff telling them to quiet down. They believed that because their event gave them so much business, they deserved special treatment. Later, the worker had to assign guests to very specific rooms, as she was informed that several of the guests had cheated on each other and would have to be far apart. It's a crazy wedding, dude. The Hilton's getting a little wild. The day of the wedding was full of guests screaming at the staff over small inconveniences. In the middle of the chaos, one mother reveals that her child drank too much pool water and ended up throwing up in the elevator. During the wedding reception, police had to be called due to adults buying drinks for the underage children. One of them gotten so drunk that he took his mother's keys, attempted to drive her car, and crashed in the parking lot. Everyone was kicked from the venue, and the party resumed all night in the hotel rooms between arguing with staff who were trying to quiet them down. In the morning, the bride storms into the lobby and tells the front office manager that every single person should be refunded fully. The bride was furious over the fact that the cops were called, stating that they should be allowed to have fun and not be treated like a bunch of dogs. No refund was issued, and the worker threatened to call the cops once more if things continue to escalate. What I would have done is I would have been like, I have this hammer, and I'm gonna drive it through your fucking skull. You and your trashy ass family. You know what? Actually, come here. And I would. I'd kill all of them with a hammer. But I'd let the kids get drunk still. We've talked about some wild hotel guests. Don't let that fool you. Hotel staff members can just as easily be the creepiest and most insane people. Look no further than the infamous story of Poop Gelato. Did I grab your attention? Poop gelato. Steve White and his wife Jessica had been staying in the Coogee Bay Hotel in Sydney, a popular beachfront tourist destination. While grabbing a drink at one of the pubs on location, they were frustrated to find that the music they were playing overpowered the rugby match that they were trying to enjoy. They also complained that the food, the staff, and the price of their gelato and the other customer. The hotel decided to appease the two of them by sending a large complimentary bowl of gelato to their table. Go ahead, I eat it. Would you like to have some gelato? It's from Italy. Among the various flavors of gelato in the bowl, the bottom seems to be layered with chocolate. Steve took a big bite, only to throw it up and retch over what seemed to be a giant log of shit hidden underneath the gelato. Jessica had already taken a bite as well, becoming violently ill. The hotel tried to offer them $5,000 to look the other way, which was denied. Instead, they took a sample of the feces and went to the police, who confirmed that it was indeed human excrement. Investigation into the poop gelato sampled failed to reveal who the culprit was. To save their reputation, the hotel employees signed contracts and forbid them from talking to the media. Jessica's reputation, however, was slowly ruined over the course of a month. According to her, everywhere I go, I'm now known as the one who ate the poo. It happens when I'm shopping, when I'm walking down the street, and when I'm on the sideline watching my son at Little Athletics on a Saturday morning. In the end, an undisclosed amount of money was reached in a settlement between the hotel and the Whites. It had to have been like, you think it was at least 6 figures? They offered her 5, she said no, and then they're like, this is hush money. I bet you anything it was like at least $100 grand. I think that she could have probably shut that place down. That's gotta be like bioterrorism, right? Some kind of crazy shit like that. And you got violently ill. I mean, like people would lose their jobs or strip. I mean, like I think that legitimately she probably could have shut that place down.
I was thinking like $1 million.
You think $1 million for some poo? Nah, dude.
Well, the damages too. People call him Poo Lady.
Yeah, reputation. I'm just saying, I think someone would buckle under 100K. You want 100,000? Okay, I'm the poo girl. I'm the poo woman. I'd be that way. In another disgusting display, we also have the Hilton Toe Sucker, which is my favorite story of this entire video. In Nashville, such a beautiful city for music, right? Once again, at a Hilton downtown hotel, a man named Peter Brennan was asleep before the day of a big work conference. He awoke to a man sucking his toes in the dead of night. Peter immediately leaped into the air and started screaming as the man sprinted out the room. This man was David Neal, the manager of the Hilton Hotel, who was working a night shift. David made copies of the guest key in order to break into the room and perform strange acts as a part of this weird, sick fetish. Definitely sexual. Definitely hard doing it the entire time. Must have been a good-looking guy, huh? Had sandals on.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. He definitely saw.
You're in room 428. Have a good night. A warrant was put out for his arrest, and he was eventually taken into custody for aggravated burglary. This wasn't his first run-in with the law, as he had previously served prison time due to a slew of crimes. Brennan told reporters that he started going to therapy after the whole ordeal and still does not feel safe in his own home. If there was something like that, that would f me up too. People can probably attest to this. There's got to be viewers that we have that has had someone break into their home or anything while they were there or sleeping. That invasion of privacy and security, dude.
But does it make sense if it's in a hotel? Because that makes sense if someone broke into my house and sucked my toes.
Yeah, but hotels, I mean, that's the same thing. Any place where you were sleeping and you lock the door, I think that follows you. Because then when you go home, you like hear some shit. It's just like the psychological damage to it. I think it fucks you up anywhere. Even if it wasn't your home or your own hotel room, like let's say you were staying at a buddy's house, it would fuck you up forever.
That's what I've been hearing, like rats in my ceiling.
You said that too with why your voice was like broken. That's why I have rats.
I don't think it's rats, maybe squirrels.
I think that's you having like sleep paralysis and you're just envisioning things. You also get like 1 hour of sleep a night. I'm starting to hear weird things. Little gnomes running around my attic. Some of the scariest things to come out of the hotel experience is not the creepy people or staff members. It's the things people find in their rooms. It's common for people to find human excrement in their rooms. People, there's poo. Get over it. One hotel Marriott guest came out of the shower and pulled a towel from the rack, only to find that there was a baseball with smearing of poo on it. Others have allegedly found hidden cameras placed inside the hotel room, sometimes pointed directly at their toilet. That's the biggest thing. The amount of like hidden cameras I see in like smoke alarms, people put it in like AC vents, all that kind of shit. Also power outlets, like the screw for your power outlet, that can be a camera. There's apparently a wand you can do to like go around a room. Yeah.
There's something people do with tape. I don't know if it's a troll, but they like put tape on windows and they put like a marker through it to see if it's like a see-through mirror too.
Oh yeah. Well, I thought I've heard that too with like hotel paintings and because they're like, I've heard that can be like a two-way mirror too.
With a painting?
Yeah, or like a glass frame painting, and it's like, oh, this is just a picture. I've seen some crazy shit, man. man. Which makes you think when I see the girl who's like, let me lock the door, and she puts like 70 things up to, I'm like, I don't fucking blame you. Also too, you know, you think I want my tiny dick and like my fat shit splayed out in the dark web to be sold? Not really. You know what I mean? If I'm sitting there beating my little monkey cock and then that's put online, that'd fuck me up.
That's true. I guess, you know, some of it's rational.
I think it's all rational. If I walked by and I saw somebody doing that, who am I to be like, paranoid much? And then of course that's when the next day, look at my phone and just sees me like beat my little dick. I'm like, online, I'm like, how did they get that? One hotel worker had even stumbled across a live baby that had been abandoned in the parents' room. I hear that happens all the time. Well, that's the whole thing with dumpster babies too. Toss them out.
Well, I was gonna say, was this a staff member? Did they just leave the baby in?
I'm thinking that it was a guest. The thing too is I think people are fucked up and they'll rationalize it. Well, like, I mean, he was in a comfortable, warm place.
Also, yeah, they leave it in a hotel room to be like, well, the staff will find it.
Well, they'll find it. Yeah. As if that like makes it okay. Well, someone's gonna stumble on it eventually. We left a bunch of crackers and Pringles on the, I mean, it should be fine.
Have you seen the baby boxes? Cities have a thing where it's like a big, like metal fucking box with a little window. You can put a baby in it, and when you close it, you pull like a string, and it calls the fire department.
What year are you talking about?
This is 2025.
No.
Yeah.
No. There is no way there is a metal delivery box for a child to, first off, bake in, and then also that you pull a string that calls the fire department. That seems like something in a Buster Keaton film.
It's got AC and a little tablet that the baby, it's like, you put a little screen.
That's probably true. And as you would expect, multiple people have had the experience of stumbling across a dead body. In college, I saw a dead body. It's fucked up. I thought it was a guy sleeping. It's a homeless guy.
Yeah, he told me about that.
It's fucking horrible.
Very scarred. Was it kind of like Stand By Me?
No, it wasn't as cool as Stand By Me. It was like really sad. Actually, I guess it's Stand By Me. It was pretty sad in that too. I don't know. You sit there and you're like, oh shit. Well, because you think at first it's just like a homeless guy sleeping in this park. And you're like, oh damn. And then you like look at it and he was just dead. So we called the cops.
That's my fear. I'm gonna be walking and there's a dead body.
That's my fear. Not snakes. I'm not claustrophobic, but if I see a dead body, that's my biggest fear. That's why I've never been able to go to a funeral. Some people have found bizarre items like kangaroo tail covered in maggots inside of the oven. Another person found tons of raw steaks in their room. And apparently he was being kicked out of the hotel and he started throwing the raw steaks directly at housekeeping staff. But he caught him. Put him in a cooler. But nothing is as strange as what one hotel remodeler found during a job. He looked underneath a piece of furniture to find what looked like a dark human-like figure with large breasts. Just show the photos of that. I don't know what I would do. At first I think it's a real body. I'd be like, oh my God. The man noted that there was old blood left behind on it, and people were convinced that it was some kind of weird makeshift sex doll. When asked how the material felt, he said, I will never forget the crunchy feeling. Sound like picking up like a pile of leaves. Some people will bring full weapons into the room only to leave them there. One hotel worker admits that housekeeping completely missed a loaded firearm in a drawer upon cleaning the room. An entirely new family was booked and checked out before anyone realized that the gun was there. In a strange scene, one hotel worker in charge of doing laundry walked into a room to find that a jacuzzi tub was filled to the brim with Jell-O, staining the material so bad that it had to be professionally cleaned and fully taken apart due to it being crammed into the jets. That's like how we couldn't lead with just like the Jell-O jacuzzi. Instead, that's at the end after everyone has clicked off for poop and blood, sex dolls, and dead people. Okay, hotels bring people from all walks of life. Sometimes things can lead to some truly bizarre and crazy encounters. If you're checking into a hotel, just act like a normal fucking person, dude. Don't bother anyone, and perhaps buy some extra locks so nobody bothers you. Thank you so much for watching this video, and good luck out there. Bye-bye.
Have you had any weird hotel stories?
Yes.